Yes. Oh God, this week is this. I say this every damn week. Well, I'm just going to stop right now because this is going to be one of those really awesome shows. It's going to be a particular show. Hey, everybody, how's it going? I am Doug Lackey, and welcome to Wrestleview Weekly. I am the veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and co-host of Wrestleview Live alongside Adam Martin, the editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com, where we cover all of the major WWE pay-per-views that come up on the Sundays, including this Sunday. Royal Rumble times are finally upon us. It is this Sunday. Starts at 7 o'clock. Lord knows how long it's going to last. Who the hell knows? But we're going to be doing that show at the end of the pay-per-view. Just hop onto this channel on the YouTubes. Wrestleview's channel. If you haven't subscribed, what the hell is wrong with you? You better subscribe so you know when we're on the air on Sunday. So, yeah, catch me and Adam after the Royal Rumble. We're going to be covering it and bitching about it or liking it or something. Or probably bitching about the people who are bitching about it is probably what we're going to be doing. But anyway, this is a very, 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 very special episode of WrestleView Weekly because not only are we going over the go-home episodes of Raw and SmackDown. Hey, Gills. Hey, CJ. Hey, Jamel. Hey, everybody. I apologize for not acknowledging you immediately. Don't hate me, okay? Everything's going to be okay. Going to cover the go-home shows of the Red Show and the Blue Show. We're going to go over news. Going to go over a ton of injury updates. Lots of injury updates. Oh, my God, there's a Ben Bauer in the chat room. Everyone, just hide your children. Also, major updates to the milk carton. And above all else, predicting NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Predicting the Royal Rumble. 14 matches are lined up. 6 of them are going to be locks. You know what happens with the locks. I take a shot of this horrible, disgusting Luna Azul tequila. However, the big thing about the show and the predictions is that I'm not in charge of making the predictions tonight. I am not in charge of making the locks tonight. I am not responsible for my own health. Because that responsibility has been placed in the hands of a very, very, very generous person who gave $200 to Camp Promise over our Crimbus Spectacular last year. Just so that everyone knows, it costs $200 to be a guest host on this program. But to be in the co-pilot's chair, to mess with the radio and make me grimace, to adjust the heating and air to make me hot or cold throughout this ride is Mr. Ken. Can you pronounce your name? I can't pronounce your name.
It's Konarshevsky. It's very easy.
Oh, shit. Okay, it's Ken Konarshevsky. Dude, thank you so much for doing all of the stuff that you did with the Camp Promise and everything. It's really, really awesome of us there.
No problem. I've been excited to come on the show for the last month, and I'm excited to make my predictions for you.
Now, I just noticed this because you and I have been hanging out for like the past 15 minutes, half hour, making sure I've got this stuff straight. Your headphones lighting up like that make me feel so inadequate right now.
These are Corsair Void RGBs. Definitely a nice gaming set headphones. Definitely not the kind that you're going to use when you're, your typical audio headphones. What you're doing is perfect. Your sound's perfect. So that's all you really need.
Right. Nice. I got it. Now, for one thing, big question that I've got just like maybe 2 or 3 questions for you, and they aren't very serious. But number one, what is it that you do? Like, what do you do work-wise, hobby-wise, stuff like that? Because we know you got the Better on Draft thing that you do.
Somewhere over there.
Yeah. So what do you do?
So for money, the way that I was able to donate the $200, I do restaurant point of sale. So I get to travel the country, trying all new restaurants, some good, some really bad. Get to go to breweries all over the country, get to go to try fine dining, to dive diners, And then for the side work, I run a beer media website called Better on Draft. So we do a weekly live show on Facebook Live, as well
Ooh.
as we do media reviews. We go to conventions, we go to conferences, we go to beer festivals where we just kind of drink, have fun, and drink.
Oh dear God, man! Damn it, that's the racket I should have come up with in the first place. Not this wrestling junk.
Well, the
But
best part is that we bring in guests into our studio, so we have our own studio,
yeah.
and they actually bring us their beer. So we
Oh.
don't even have to go away for beer; they just bring it to us.
Oh God, that's even better. The only reason I really chose wrestling was because I'd been doing that a lot more than drinking beer. So I guess that's why I'm doing this. But God damn it, that sounds like an awesome racket. That's
There
awesome.
there isn't too bad of a beer show over in Charlotte called Cheers Charlotte, which they
Yeah.
do a really good job covering the North Carolina, the Carolinas really in beer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've attended it a couple of times. I always attend. I think it's every year for the past 5 years, the Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival that
Ooh.
happens over here in Charlotte.
Well, you like
Sure.
your bourbon.
Oh, I love my bourbon. So that's that. Yeah, that's my go-to. But oh man, that's here in the Carolinas, especially in Charlotte and in the mountains. We have so many great craft breweries and local breweries, and so I'm really apologize to everyone. Ken and I were just shooting the shit about beer for the past 15, 20 minutes. It's really awesome. Another serious question, and this is a question I ask everyone that I really bump into who is a wrestling fan, regardless of whether you know who I am or know what Wrestleview is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anything like that. What your preferences are of online or offline wrestling preferences. How did you become a pro wrestling fan?
Actually, I know this.
Okay.
There isn't like oh, a friend showed me about it. I recall I was at my aunt and uncle's. I was spending a few nights there. My family was out of town, and so I'm in the basement. I'm playing on their computer, and I do the little VC. You remember the VHS drawers the old curio cabinets would have with
Oh,
all the
sure.
VHS tapes? I
Yeah.
pulled it out, and one said WrestleMania 3. And so
Ah.
I popped it in and watched WrestleMania 3 on VHS. And I was kind of hooked ever since. Started watching Monday Night Raw because it already started by then.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did the dumb things being a kid in that age. I was a backyard wrestler at one point. Um, but it kind of always stuck. And I'd always kind of been just WWE. Even when there was WWE versus WCW, I would always watch WCW from 8 to 9 and then
Mhm.
WWE from 9 to whenever it ended.
And now, I guess the other question too is, how old were you when you popped in that WrestleMania 3 cassette?
That is so I remember the year because it's literally when Tupac Shakur got shot.
Ah,
So it would have
okay.
been 1996, so I would have been 10.
Okay, okay, cool. I mean, I kind of want to stress that. I mean, and it's not judging on you at all. Okay, it's you really can tell a lot about people who are wrestling fans by how they were introduced to it and how old they were. Okay, and also knowing the avenue that they were introduced to it, because it's far too often we go online and we see all of these opinions of everyone, and we got, oh, this sucks, or oh, this is great, and blah 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 blah, but you don't really know how they got their preferences, how they liked what they liked. And so there is a big difference between someone who is 10 years old, found WrestleMania 3 VHS, popped it in, became a fan, and then just rode the way from there, and someone who has, been introduced to it by friends who were all in their teenage years, by stuff that's on the internet, that has a lot of other stuff that can kind of give them a pathway to what wrestling is believed to be. So it's good. So just so everyone knows, Ken is just as pure as we are. It is all good. Okay? Don't hate on anything. It's all good. If you want to hate on anything, hate on me. This was my decision. So, all right. Tons of stuff to do with the show. We're just going to head right on to it. If I can get that. There we go. Hey, look at that. Sasha's got Ronda in a very weird predicament. Yeah. As a lot of you know, and I'm sure you probably can. I don't know how you watch Monday Raw, but me, I DVR it, and I usually jump into it maybe on the third hour to bypass all the commercials about Glass and Temptation Island and Taco Bell, so that I can watch all of the show and then catch up to it in the tail end live. I just couldn't do it this time around. Instead, I binged on it today, watching all of Raw and then all of SmackDown. And what's weird is when you watch Raw and SmackDown consecutively, you can just see the differences between the shows, writing, production-wise, and everything else. And so I don't know if you could see many differences between the two shows, but this show, Raw, and when it comes to how it's been booked and laid out, are you as tired as I am of Ronda Rousey being in the main event?
Am I tired of it? Not really. It just kind of exists right now.
Yeah,
I'm definitely one of those people that's like kind of wait and see, to where I give probably a more leniency than I should.
sure.
But in the same sense, I just can't I can't hate something that's only been happening for a few months. I think along with her progression in regards to how she has wrestled and become a wrestler, and from her first match all the way to now, and as much as it's really the same matches over and over again,
Sure.
she's really done a good job being able to sell it, and being able to sell, a smaller character, a babyface in peril versus like a Nia Jax. But I kind of see, where you're coming from in regards to just not, just kind of looking for the new hotness.
Well, I hear you. Yes, I agree. I guess my thing is right now, and of course we'll get into the main event and everything that went on with the show. But let me see. I think it's about time that we took the training wheels off. We are approaching now 9 months of her Royal Rumble coming up. This is going to be the announcing of the anniversary of her joining the company. Okay, it will now be a full calendar year come Sunday that she has announced being with the company. I don't have a problem with her and her performance in the ring.
Okay.
She's fantastic at selling. Don't get me wrong. She is fantastic on the selling. On her offense, she has a unique offense that is all her own with the judo arm drags and stuff like that. Her offense is all her own. Still, people are still trying to get used to that. That's not a problem. My problem is just how she's booked. We have gotten to the point now to where I believe, and I may have to do some research on this, man, I really don't want to be held up to the fence on this line or this claim, but I'm pretty damn well sure she's had at least 10 main events on Raw since debuting with this company. I mean, and that's slightly insane to me. And I really don't want to think that that's the reason why everyone is harping about why Monday Night Raw is not as good as what it should be. But it's starting to approach that point to where every Monday night it's a Ronda Rousey main event, whatever the hell it may be, whether she's sitting at ringside, whether she's in a tag team, or whether she's just having a singles match. Whatever it is, she is always in the main event. And it's really, really starting to wear on me. I'm not saying, and whether that's a bad thing or a good thing, I'm not sure, but man, it's really wearing itself thin. It's gotten to the point now to where by the third hour, if they have not had the Rousey match, I know it's going to be the main event, and I know I can check out early. So they haven't really had anything when it comes to the Ronda Rousey main event on Raw to keep me latched on, is the thing. But again, she's fantastic in the ring. Don't get me wrong. It's not like she's going to have the main event coming onto the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And she still keeps my enthusiasm watching her. But for the love of God, if she is ending the Monday show, I'm checking out and going to bed. I don't know if it's just me.
I kind of brought up to see exactly what you were saying and kind of looking at all of her matches and stuff. It looks like kind of every other Monday night match is a main event. So, and
Yeah.
that includes, her tag matches with Sasha or Natty or Ember Moon. So there are other people getting mixed to it, and I think there are more than just, you look at come Monday night, it was Bailey, Sasha, Natty, Ronda, and then there was
Mm,
another one that it was Ronda, Natty, Nia, or Naya and Tamina. So I think they're good at bringing in more and more people into the fold instead of just repeating the same match over and over again in regards
right.
to the same people. But it's kind of just nice to know, exactly where, because to be honest, where she is on the card, she's bringing a lot of people into the fold and into wrestling that may not have been in wrestling because they're not even necessarily MMA fans. They just know who Ronda Rousey is.
Oh, sure, 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 sure. Yeah, I am not doubting her pull when it comes to what she can bring to the table. It's just gotten to here we are again. We're grabbing onto a 1 year anniversary, and it's really now time to see what the return has been on this investment.
I
Is the
agree.
thing. Okay, that's the only thing. Not saying her to demote her or anything or to kick her off or anything like that. It's now about time we assess this investment, and see what the risk reward is on this. But the picture threw me off. Let's get to the beginning of this shindig. Because out
Oh yeah, we
comes,
haven't even started yet, have we?
well, we kind of started. Oh, Bork Laser comes out and Paul Heyman's got words to say. Yeah, he's got the words. I'm just bringing up the GIF and I'm going to read from because even miracles fear Bork Laser. And so they're in the ring, and then Vince McMahon comes out. He gets the good old cheap heat from the Oklahoma City crowd, calling them a bunch of people here in hillbilly land, which kind of confused me. Um, I've never been to Oklahoma City. Is Oklahoma City considered hillbilly land?
I they have Thunder there. That's
Well,
about all I know.
I mean, I have Thunder here too, but the basketball team not so much. But I don't get it. Okay, Braun Strowman comes out and he starts bitching and everything. This is how I kind of do the recaps. I don't really go in depth here a whole lot. Braun Strowman comes out, he starts bitching and stuff, and out comes Finn Balor and he says that he deserves the match. Um, all I know is that this just ends up into being a match between Braun Strowman and Finn Balor, completely destroying everyone, saying that Braun Strowman is not a go in the Royal Rumble. Since I have an additional voice here in Ken, and I know that I'm not, I need you to be my audience on this one. Could you just say, Doug, you were right?
Doug, you
Huh?
were right.
Well, shit. I got my sources. Mm. Damn it, did I not say that Braun Strowman was cleared to go? He was cleared to go. Okay? Where are the retractions from every single fucking pro wrestling news site saying that he was not good to go? Nowhere to be found. Okay. All right, I got my bitching and my ranting and my modesty out of the way. Okay. By the way, we do not get a finish in this match between Braun Strowman and Finn Balor. Bork Laser ended up interfering in the match, but before that, Braun Strowman choo-choo over Finn Balor. He tried to do it again and choo-choo. Sling Blade. Ken, what are your feelings about the Sling Blade move?
I can't say I like it now after that introduction of the
I
move
did not mean
Sling
to
Blade.
put you on the spot like that. No.
I think it's a very, very good move, especially for a more young acrobat, not young, but acrobatic, smaller person, because you're more using that person's momentum and weight against them, which is kind of something that you need in your repertoire.
Sure.
If you're using a sling blade against like Finn Balor against Hideo Itami, no, it really doesn't have the same effect. But in regards to someone like Braun Strowman, where you can like hot step out of the way and knock him onto the ground, I think it's more effective.
Okay, I'll buy you on that one because yes, by the tone of my voice, I can't stand the sling blade. But no, I totally get it when it's put on the right person. Absolutely, I can totally buy that. If it's put on someone who is at least a half foot taller than him and 100 pounds more, I can definitely get it. But if it's done against, would you buy it if it's done against Bork Laser?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, okay, then I'll buy it too. I'll buy it too. We did not get a finish in this match because Bork Laser ended up interfering in the match, much to the chagrin of everyone, I'm sure. Yes. Okay. Quick aside to this before we um, carry on to the Raw and also go into the Royal Rumble predictions and stuff. Do you think, Ken, that Braun Strowman will be in the Royal Rumble match?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I do too. He's not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be in it. Do you think Finn Balor would be in it?
No.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ronda Rousey and Natalya are going to team up against Sasha and Bayley later on. We're going to see Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. But coming up next is Bobby Lashley in a Continental Championship celebration. Man, I don't know how my impersonation is of Leo Rush, but I try my damnedest. Bobby Lashley. He does his posing and everything, but Apollo Crews comes out to interrupt him because Apollo was tired of interrupting Elias. They do their thing, which will lead into a match between Apollo and Bobby Lashley. Here, Apollo tosses the small child into the much larger man of Bobby Lashley. So we have the match. The big thing, and I really wish I had a graphic of this. I don't know if you watched Raw from this week, Ken. Apollo really tweaked his back in this match. At least it seemed like it. He tried gorilla pressing Lashley, I believe, and really did not have his feet under him and was really favoring his lower back.
Oh.
Whether he was doing a good job at selling it, I'm not sure, but it seemed throughout the match he was kind of favoring it, and they used that as the crux in the match, to have the match be over with and Lashley winning. But
I think if they include it in the match, though, usually it's kind of more kayfabe than anything.
yeah,
Not to bring out the K word, but
no,
you want them to be healthy. You want them to be fine. You don't want anyone to hurt themselves. But when you're selling it within the match itself, and it seems like the commentators were truly trying to sell it, as opposed to just like, ooh, I don't know what's going on. I think there's definitely two different ways you can see when they're trying to sell a real injury versus a fake injury.
Right. I kind of wanted to bring that up because it seemed that was kind of a talking point on the Twitter. Here I am being Adam talking about stuff that happens everywhere else and what everyone else's opinion is when I have someone live right here with me to give me an opinion.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? I guess that was the thing is when I was watching Raw and also being on the Twitter, everyone, going nuts about the back, and I was waiting for a pro wrestling website to say they got the inside scoop. No inside scoop. It's all kayfabe. But the John Cena ankle injury is not, even though he favored that during a match and after the match. And they talked about it today. On Raw. So, I don't know. Will John Cena be in the Royal Rumble match, Ken?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Then it doesn't matter. Glad we could put the kibosh on that discussion right there. Seth Rollins.
Go ahead. John Cena could have so many injuries and he'll still be in the Royal Rumble match, even if it's to put somebody else over.
Yeah, he could
have they could easily make a spot to get someone over, whether it's get Drew to throw him over in a position where hey, they could plan it to where hey, we're gonna throw John Cena over and this is how he's going to land, so he's gonna be safe, so he's not gonna mess anything up. So I think no matter what, he's going to be in the Rumble, whether it's as a ring general or as a quick hit, like, oh my God, he's gone. Think of that type of shock and awe where, like, he comes in to fight Drew McIntyre, and sure enough, like, he goes to hit someone else, and Drew McIntyre throws him out within, say a minute.
That's what I was about to lead up to. So yeah,
sorry.
Cena, no, you're fine. No, you led up right into God, fucking master of a segue, and this is only your first show. So Cena's in the Rumble. Okay, ring general, totally understandable, totally get it, totally buying it and everything. And you mentioned Drew McIntyre. Okay? Because you know whoever the Joker is that tosses over Cena is going to get major rub. Okay? And I was about to say, who's the Joker who's going to toss over Cena? And would it be Drew McIntyre?
Yes.
Okay. There you go. I really like how these, I really like how these discussions end so abruptly like that, you know?
Well, I mean, you're asking straight yes or no questions. I don't feel like I need to explain myself.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be. I don't want it to be hypotheticals or anything, you know. And no really explanation. I mean, no, you just put it all right there, you know. Cena can get into the Rumble. I mean, by God, put him in a boot. Oh, for the love of God, put him in a boot. Put him in a boot going into there, and he's still tossing over Jokers. Okay? Have him toss over the Colognes. Have him toss over the Ascension. You know, build up and everything, and then Drew McIntyre toss him over. Get the rub. There you go. You know, there's nothing saying that this supposed ankle injury, whether it be kayfabe or not, it doesn't matter. It's still going to play into the Rumble itself. Seth Rollins coming out. Apparently, he's forgotten that he used to have a title. He has forgotten about Bane Ambrose. And now he's set his sights on the Royal Rumble. He says he's going to go into Phoenix this Sunday. Phoenix this Sunday, he's going to win the Royal Rumble match. That's what
I'm glad I'm going to Phoenix and not Philly. Screw this weather up here.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It is gorgeous in Phoenix this time of year. Absolutely gorgeous.
I'll make sure to send you photos just so you can see what I'm looking at.
Oh, could you? Could you? It'll make me. Yeah. I will. Yeah. I hate you already.
That's okay.
Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins have a match of sorts that going back and forth. There was a lot of Claymore kicks and finisher kickouts to be had, but Seth Rollins would win via roll up. What? But there's supposed to be more finisher kickouts. There was no stomp. There was no, float overs. There was a lot of, I don't know.
I miss the days of basic moves finishing matches.
Yeah, I know. I miss the days of, just a vertical suplex would end a match.
Oh yeah.
Those happened. Kids.
Did you watch the 3MB Table for Three on the network?
Mm-hmm.
When I found out that the Claymore kick was an accident, I just laughed so hard because it's such a good move, but because his tight ass pants, he couldn't lift a leg up without literally lifting his entire body up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just simple moves. Let's go ahead and put it this way. When it comes to, and I'll try to put a graphic up here so that we can make sure I don't have any white screen or blank screen when we're talking about this, but the best finishers are the ones that are not so complex and just are in the blink of an eye, can happen so easily, but also that when they're kicked out of, they're believed. Like, super kick's no longer a finisher.
No, it's just a basic move.
Yeah.
You could do like 6 super kicks and you get a kick out after 1.
Yeah, seriously. Rock bottom. I'm throwing this out there. Rock bottom is now just a side move in a move set, i.e. Big E, i.e. Samoa Joe. Okay, rock bottom is now just a side move. But it's great to see stuff like, oh, for the love of God, RKO. Do we really need to go over RKO out of nowhere? Something so simple.
Well, yeah, the cutter. There's so many people who have used the cutter, and I think after Randy Orton's done, nobody else is going to really be able to use the cutter as effective because he had to keep reinventing the RKO just to make the RKO strong.
Yes.
Like every single time, the RKO out of nowhere is its own entity as opposed to just your standard RKO.
Well,
oh, go on.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
So when you have all these moves, you look at things that are definitely out of thin air in regards to moves that kind of don't make sense as to why they would work or anything like that. But when you have moves that are just as basic, like Dirty Deeds, that's such a basic move, but because it's a double underhook, isn't it?
Yeah,
kind of like
it's supposed to
Mankind.
Double underhook DDT. Yeah.
So, you have the double underhook, and I think that's where everyone takes it. But then you have someone who has your standard DDT, and it's, the guy's standing up a second from that, then to go to the next set of moves.
Yeah, and I guess what I'm also kind of leading up to is when it comes to how finishers, come and go by the wayside. DDP, when he announced the Diamond Cutter there in WCW, it was a big deal. It laid everyone out. But they also placed emphasis on it could come out of nowhere, but it being out of moves that were in the ring. Like he would do a suplex and turn it into a cutter. He would do, a neck breaker and turn it into a cutter. Someone leaping off the top rope and turn it into a cutter. But they made it sound way too intricate, I guess is the best way to put it. Whereas when Orton, there are gifs of him leaping out of people jumping into pools and giving someone an RKO.
Well, he did it to his son, I think.
Yeah, he gave it to his son. And then there I have seen gifs and dear God, Grand Theft Auto game replays of people, just doing RKOs out of nowhere. It has become a thing. And it's a combination of production-wise, the camera making sure that Randy's not in the shot before he gets into shot to give him the RKO. And also it's just the randomness of it. I guess that's what I really like is when it comes to his finisher in particular, how random it is, how spontaneous it happens. Especially, we'll get into SmackDown because that happens in SmackDown here, but
Well, I think when we get introduced to a move we've never seen, like when Seth Rollins came in with the curb stomp, we've never really seen the curb stomp as a move before. And as much as you change iterations, like there comes a point where it's a little too much, like Byron Saxton's finisher. If you've never seen that, you should definitely pull up a video of Byron Saxton's finisher.
Oh, what was his? What was his?
Oh, I can't even explain it because it's so convoluted. But then there's moves like, to be honest, one of my favorite finishers was the old Zack attack from Zack Ryder, which is that spinning back knee neck breaker.
Yeah.
And I understand why they stopped doing it because it looks dangerous as fuck.
Yeah.
But I appreciate things. Then you have like the broski boot because if he hits the broski boot, he's gonna lose in the next 10 seconds.
Right.
So. But like the Rough Rider was still a good finisher, and I think when they had the tag team with Mojo when they did the top rope Rough Rider, kind of like the God, why can't I think of the Legion of Doom's finisher?
The Doomsday Device.
Doomsday Device. There you go.
Yeah.
So it was a Rough Rider Doomsday Device, and that was actually really cool to see, and I to be honest kind of missed the tag team of Mojo and Zack because it actually made Mojo decent to watch.
Well, I'm sorry you're not going to be getting that because Zack Ryder makes a cameo appearance on this Monday Night Raw.
I know.
Yep, the Revival is arguing with Mr. McMahon with a request. I spent literally all of Tuesday morning going through my Twitter feed of so many memes and so many captions of the scene of the Revival talking to Mr. McMahon with a request, quote unquote request. So, first off, so the Revival are requesting to be released from the WWE. Ken, are you buying this?
No.
Okay, I'm not either.
I'm going to be honest with you, and it's not a very, it's a weird thing to say, but you guys are not the Scoopy Scoop type wrestling news organization. So if I don't see an actual, like, the Revival have requested their release, sure, you'll say, according to PW Torch or according to Dave God Meltzer, the Revival are requesting the release. Sure, that's proper journalism. Yes. But when you guys try to verify it yourselves, and therefore I really don't believe it unless I see it or unless you report it. And since the VIP days have gone away, I've stopped caring about all the Scoopy Scoops and the wrestling bullshit. Like, I just enjoy it now.
God, I'm so hard right now. Thank you, Ken. No, I'm kidding. The look on your face, that's what I'm looking for.
We'll clip it later.
Here's the thing. Earlier I asked you about, how you came into wrestling, how how old you were and what you looked at and what you watched, and you kind of stayed with it. And I kind of take it that the internet has not really been a focal point in how you enjoy wrestling.
No.
Okay. Because that's the major difference here. Okay. There are so many people, I believe, that I see them at live events, whether they be WWE, TNA, independent shows, local shows. When you attend these live shows, you really get the full gamut of what a wrestling audience is. Okay? When you hop on the internet and go on Twitter and you go on the comments pages and everything, the forums, message boards and everything, that is not the majority of what wrestling fans are. I'll tell you right now, most wrestling fans don't know what the hell all elite wrestling is. Okay, it's true. I mean, I'll never forget when I went to Bound for Glory at Daytona Beach. This was back when Hulk Hogan was going through his 5 or 6 back surgeries. Okay, I'm sitting there and I've got damn meth girl behind me, jumping up and down.
Oh my God, I remember all of this now.
Okay,
the meth girl.
Yeah, there was meth girl next to me. But I was talking to people surrounding me who were wrestling fans who were there for TNA who did not know that Hulk Hogan had back surgery. And this was a news item that was going on for 8 months. Okay? Just because you're online and you're encased in the bubble doesn't mean that that's what's necessarily happening. I mean, dear God, there's so many analogies that I could come up with for anything involving sports or politics or life in general. You've got to be aware that stuff is happening outside of this bubble. It's good to read what's happening, but don't take it too seriously, or else you won't have fun with it anymore. That's all I'm saying. I just had to kind of go off there because the Revival requested to Vince McMahon that they have a rematch for the tag team titles against Gable and Rude. But the referees suck. So they want a new referee. And what I love is during this exchange, you kept hearing excuse me, Mr. McMahon? Mr. McMahon? I'm like, okay, well, what the fuck's going on here? Who keeps chanting it? It's Curt Hawkins. Curt Hawkins wants in on this WWE Raw pie somehow. And so McMahon's like, oh, you're looking for a job. Oh, you would like to be a referee. And so Curt Hawkins is going to be the special guest referee for the Revival's title match against Rude and Gable. Oh my God, I just loved it when before they faded out to commercial, I think it was Dawson patting Hawkins on the chest. Man, you've lost some weight. Just buttering up to him. It's just fantastic stuff. Come back from commercial. Bane Ambrose is in the boiler room giving his 4th or 5th monologue in the boiler room. Did anyone pay attention to this? I sure as hell didn't. He loves the word injustice. I'm just going to put it out there. I really need to go back to all of his... All right. It's just kind of... I don't care about Ambrose anymore. Do you care about Ambrose?
I'm going to say an unpopular opinion. Out of the Shield members, he is the worst.
Do you remember back in the day when the Shield first came out and everyone had a cat just loved Dean Ambrose?
Oh, yeah. My ex-wife had a giant crush on him to the point where she had to watch 12 rounds with him. I think it was 12 rounds.
Yeah.
Whatever WWE movie sequel he was in.
Yeah. Back in the day when everyone was equating him to Heath Ledger, he was so Joker-esque.
Oh, yeah, he had a great character and great promo skills, but I think it was a factor of what the Shield was and his part in the Shield. I think he wasn't the weak link of the Shield itself, like as a trio. But I think he is post Shield the weakest link out of all three.
Okay, I'm with you. Even, yeah, totally with you. It's just, I remember when the Shield first came out, and us on Wrestleview Live way back in the day, talking about the three that we were looking at. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. While I know the focus was on Roman Reigns, absolutely the focus was on him, he being the powerhouse and him getting the hot tags and everything. I was focusing more on Seth Rollins just because of his hot tags and everything, but Dean Ambrose, it seemed like the majority was on just because they really knew what he was with the character of Johnny Moxley. He had done the crazy hardcore shit in backyards, I think it is safe to say we now see Dean Ambrose for what he is. And that's mediocre? Maybe? I don't know. I mean, and I say mediocre from all aspects of what professional wrestling should be. Okay? Emoting, showing character. You're really good on it behind the mic in front of a camera in a boiler room, but you sure as hell can't do it in the ring. When it comes to your moveset, there's no difference between your moveset between face and heel. None at all, whatsoever. And even away from the mic, in the ring, he doesn't react to the fans at all. That's the other thing that strikes me about him, is that he does not react to the fans during a match. So I am fearing right now this Royal Rumble match coming up, and then into WrestleMania, he's going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I just do not see him in any kind of clusterfuck match. Just because Seth Rollins has gone away to focus on the Royal Rumble, there's no longer a focus for Dean Ambrose unless he wins the Royal Rumble, and we know that's not going to happen. Something needs to happen with this character to continue to be viable. And I really have no idea where it can be found right now. No idea at all.
Now, Mr. Lackey, are you a betting man?
Dear God, how much tequila do I have? Yeah, I can be a bet. Oh, are you putting it? Oh, you're putting it out there.
No. I'm just giving you an offer, like a bet. Like, this is the kind of bet you would make in regards to winning the Royal Rumble, because believe it or not, you can actually gamble on this shit for real, like actual real money.
Oh, I know. Oh, did you look up the odds on the Royal Rumble wins?
Do you want to know what Dean Ambrose is at?
Oh, I'd love to know what odds of Dean Ambrose are.
Plus 3,300.
Wow. So a minimum bet of $10
would net you $330.
Oh, wow. I'm trying to remember. I saw we had the AFC and NFC football title games happen, and someone made a prop bet that both games would go into overtime, and they did.
Oh God!
And the odds of it were like 1,990 to 1. No, it was more than that. They ended up walking out with nearly $2,000 on a $10 bet. Okay. So that kind of sounds pretty good.
Because that's one of those bets where they just want a bunch of people to throw money down to not bet it out. And, within the amount of times it doesn't happen, sooner or later, it's going to pay out once.
Right. But I will lock this. Dean Ambrose will be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I'm locking it.
All right.
I'm locking it. Bottle tequila right there. I'm going to lock that son of a bitch. Who the hell is he going to go against other than Seth Rollins? Who? Apollo Crews? No, Apollo Crews? The injustice of Apollo Crews and his delicious body. No, I just had to throw that out there to get a reaction.
I hate the fact that there's just absolutely nothing for Apollo Crews right now because I just don't see him fitting anywhere character wise, but he is such a talented wrestler that I want something for him.
You know what? Something's going to come for him, and that's something you hope for in the Superstar Shakeup.
Yes.
That's something you hope for. Throwaway 6-man tag, Jinder Mahal and the Singh Brothers versus the Lucha House Party. This is not a throwaway match because Jinder Mahal is fantastic in this. I need him tossing around smaller people way more often than he should. But yeah, this was just a time filler. Lucha House Party won that one. EC3 is posing backstage and Dana Brooke is watching. Yeah, that's really cute. Ladies and gentlemen, Elias. He talks about how he's going to go in and win the Royal Rumble. Karen Bourbon comes out and interrupts him. That leads over to a match. Karen Bourbon goes clean before Elias did an old school coast to coast on the top rope, which is really nice because he yelled out to the crowd, "Who wants to walk with Elias?" or WWE stands for it. Got the yell out of the crowd and does that. I'm really glad he added that to his set. But again, Karen Bourbon winning clean. Yeah, nice little time filler. Nothing wrong with that. I really love the heat that Bourbon is getting. That's fabulous. He is not moving at all. He is staying on Raw for a long time to come. He will never get a title. Ever.
I think there is just so much mid-card heel upside to Baron Corbin that you just could never get. Like, he could never be a face. Like, I really don't see any time where I could feel sorry for this man.
I'm going to say it. I don't give a shit what he does in his promos anymore. I am no longer paying attention to the cadence of his speech. I'm no longer paying attention to the script that he's supposed to read. I don't care. Okay? Bourbon can come out there and do whatever the hell he wants. Okay? He's fantastic. He can interrupt any face and it'll be great. It doesn't matter. Okay? This is his line for years to come. He will never wear a belt. He'll never have a tag team partner. This is his gig. Okay. As far as Elias goes, people can dream about him getting a title or something like that. It's going to be a long time. I'm kind of looking at his gimmick almost like Zack Ryder's. You know, it can have a shelf life.
Zack Ryder does not have a shelf life. He is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Oh, shit. We better move on here and make this quick. Moment of Bliss with Nia Jax. Who cares? These Moment of Bliss segments have been bad, but it's only been 2.
Like, I enjoy being entertained. Like, I love cross promotion. I love talk shows. I love all this. And as much as I love Alexa Bliss, these are just falling so hard and failing every single time.
Yeah, it's only the second one, but I agree.
It's just a lot of Alexa Bliss's what I would call force promos, like one-on-one promo, like gimmick promos. That's a good word for it. Gimmick promos. Because like her standard promos, like I'm talking to this person or calling this person out, ding. It's one of those like they're perfectly fine, but when she gets into this, like especially like the "This Is Your Life" and those types of segments, it just falls because it just doesn't seem genuine from him.
No,
from her.
No, it doesn't. No, there's nothing genuine. Here's the weirdest thing about the Alexa Bliss character. She's not supposed to be genuine. She is supposed to be forced. She is supposed to make you think one thing, but she really isn't. The problem is when you try to incorporate that into other things, it's way worse. I guess is the best way to put this. Like, a great example is in her moveset, she dislocates her own shoulder. Okay. Forcing something to make you believe something else. That is her character. She tries to do this whole... And there's been 2 promos that she's done, or monologues, of where she tries to make herself sound genuine, but then she turns on a dime and she turns back to the heel that she is. It's incredibly tough put her in what are seen to be genuine situations, with her being a talk show host, with her being a general manager. She can't do it because the
No.
character, but the motif, because the motif of her character has been established. She can't do it. And so this is what she is. Let it ride. Don't force the circle into the square peg. That's what she is. If this is what you could have, this is what you had to give her because she had to pass concussion protocol for a month and a half, there's better things you could have done. If you needed to keep her in our minds and in our eyes and in our ears for a month and a half because she was trying to pass concussion protocol, there are other things you could have done. For example,
I understand that, but if she's taking, like, you want her to still be the heel character, and if you fully take her off TV, she loses that with the pop. Like, she's going to get a pop the second she comes back for the Rumble.
Right.
And you don't want that, so you want
Right.
her pissing you off every single week.
Exactly. So you put her on TV, but you have her in those situations where she randomly interrupts people talking and eggs them into beating each other up. Or you randomly insert her into the general manager's office for no reason whatsoever. You randomly insert her in TV in a prominent segment where she seems that she is still that heel. Okay? She really, what they have been giving her with the fake GM and is she still the GM? Oh, wait, no, she's been relieved of that. See what I just totally forgot about that, which shows how important it is. She was put in these two positions, but now she's going back and she's going to be in the Royal Rumble. So, yay! No more talk show. We hope. Maybe. I don't know. We're going to try to fly through all of this. But she was interrupted by Lacey Evans after she announced that she was going to be in the Royal Rumble. I love this woman. Absolutely love her.
Great character and a great throwback. Like, it's definitely a refreshing take on just what we saw with a lot of the new characters, like the Four Horsewomen, for instance. You know, they're Zan's the man character right now. All of them were basically the same, with a little bit of Sans, like Bailey being no heel at all, but like a little face, a little heel, a little bit of, you know, column A, column B. But with her, it's just she has made everyone easily want to hate her, and she has done her job.
And what I love the most is, and I know this is going to be odd to hear coming from me, but she has the most estrogen of any woman who is on this main roster. She is embracing the lady, showing class, sophistication, dressing like a goddamn lady. Okay, this is what I'm wanting to see. This is what I'm wanting to see is the combating of how the women's division wants to be just as equals as the men, but yet they've lost what it is to be a woman. That's what I'm loving about this Lacey Evans character, is that that's what her tact is. She is coming in to be the woman that this women's division has been sorely lacking, you know. So, God, that's my thing. The Ascension versus Heavy Machinery. Before this, Titus O'Neil tried to say that he was going to win the Royal Rumble, but yeah, that was really funny. So yeah, he's on the show. Titus O'Neil is taking a break from saving the world to let you know he was going to win the Royal Rumble.
Titus World Slide.
Hell yeah.
You know, he's going to trip and fall on purpose.
He's going to purposely try to do it, and it's going to be so forced and so horrible. The Ascension versus Heavy Machinery. For the love of God, this is the new day.
Stakes and weights, baby.
I told you Heavy Machinery was going to make it to the main roster 4 months ago. They will never sniff a title. It doesn't matter. They are the White New Day. They are twice as heavy as the New Day. They'll be on SmackDown. They're going to do fun stuff with the New Day. I don't care. God, I love this team. Love them. Okay. But this is what I love acts like this because it takes the people who take professional wrestling so seriously, it hurts them. Oh, they hate this shit.
I saw somebody post like, "Oh, they're gonna make the Heavy Machinery a joke." I'm like, did you not watch them in NXT and realize what they are?
Yeah. Oh my God, are you kidding me? What are they supposed to be?
I have no idea.
Oh my
Great.
God, are
They're
you
great.
kidding me? They're great. Okay, like no, they're gonna turn them into a joke from NXT. Tell me when they won the title. Tell me when they were made into badasses. Shut up. Shut up. This is what professional wrestling is supposed to be. Fun. Heaven forbid some people have some fun nowadays. Tag Team Championship Revival versus Wood and Gable. Kurt Hawkins is your special guest referee, calling it down the middle and calling that you're supposed to hold on to the tag ropes when you do such. And there were a lot of times where he was making sure the Revival was not cheating. And so here, kicking apart the Revival, Gable gets the pin on Dawson. Thus, your winners are Gable and Wood. Afterwards, the Revival would beat the hell out of Kurt Hawkins, but out came Zack Ryder for the save, and I gotta tell you, a tear almost came to my eye. That was great. Okay, this was good. To insert Hawkins into this and bring Zack Ryder into this, I thought they were going to be playing toys for the rest of their lives. This was good.
I'm just happy because I love Zack Ryder. Like that's just not even like
so he's your
fact.
Kozlov. He's your Kozlov, isn't he?
So I had about 15 people over for the Rumble that he won, or not the Rumble, excuse me, WrestleMania, the ladder match that he won.
Okay.
You would have thought I was legit a child for how hardcore I marked out for the Zack Ryder win of that. So like seeing this and getting all excited. So there's a lot of people who may know one of my friends who used to be a VIP member, used to be one of the hosts on Better on Draft, Ghetto Dan.
Yeah.
He shot me a message like, you need to watch Raw right now. And I'm like, what do you mean I need to watch right now? Like, that's such a weird thing for him to say.
Yeah.
So when I go and I see it and I rewind back to what's going on, it just makes me so happy because, again, Zack Ryder is not the best wrestler. No, I will accept that, but he's fine. He is serviceable. Yes. Is the proper term.
Yes.
And when like he goes into matches, he knows how to be the babyface in peril. He knows how to get squashed. He knows how to be the underdog and win. So he could sell all of those. And when he came out, I'm like, I'm so excited because I think it's great for Kurt Hawkins because I think the Kurt Hawkins winning or losing streak from like 2016 or 2017 is all done. It's good. It's over. It's going to finish. And I think the WWE needs that one more tag team that kind of mirrors what the B team was. And I think during the Superstar shakeup, there's going to be a lot of movements more in the tag teams than in the singles.
The one thing I really like about this idea and this reformation, and I really hope it takes place, they stay this way, Ryder and Hawkins, is they are the perfect balance of what you want a nostalgia act to be. This is the perfect balance of when they brought Road Dogg and Billy Gunn back for a hot minute to destroy the Ascension when we thought the Ascension was actually going to be serviceable, and they weren't. This is Ryder and Hawkins' role now, is we remember them being the edge heads, and then they had their singles runs and everything, but these two reuniting are actually going to unite at least 2 generations of wrestling fans. If you think about this, I mean, ones that are watching right now, and you and I, us that are in the well above double digits, well above the 20s, well into the 30s, and those who are approaching into, the upper 20s that are going like, oh, hey, I remember Edgeheads. And I'm like, oh, no, I remember Edgeheads. Oh, I remember woo, woo, woo. It's like, I know why woo, woo, woo. It bridges the gap is what it is. These guys are going to be what the New Age Outlaws, the Dudleys, the Hardys, this is the team that we are probably going to remember 10 years down the line. I kind of put it that way too. So it's awesome that this team is together. I hope that that's right. You know, it'll just be interesting to see. I'd like to see them be the underdog act that grabs the titles at WrestleMania. Maybe.
I'm in.
Maybe. Okay. Quick, who's got the Raw Tag Team titles? Go.
Brood and Gable.
Oh yeah, Gable and Rude. Will Gable and Rude have the titles when they lose them to Hawkins and Ryder? Go.
That doesn't fair because you know I'm gonna say
okay.
yeah. No, they won't. Zack Ryder all the way.
Okay.
I love Chad Gable. He is so ridiculously talented that it's disgusting, and there's just nothing for him.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. Finally, main event, tag team main event involving Rousey and Natalya, Sasha, and Bayley. I'm not gonna. It happened. Go ahead and put it that way. Don't care. We already talked about that. So those are the Red Show. Holy crap! It's been an hour. We gotta fly.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. This has all been interesting discussion. There's nothing I can do about that. SmackDown Live, it's the Blue Show. Good thing Roy Nemmer recapped this one on our page because there aren't going to be any gifts for me to laden on. Let's see. Becky Lynch comes out. She struts her stuff. She pouts. Talks crap about Asuka. Asuka comes out. She yells stuff in Japanese. Thank God, because she should never say anything in English. It's weird.
I think if she keeps the nobody ready for Asuka phrase in English and everything else in Japanese, it's perfect.
If she said just the words Asuka and ass and the rest in Japanese, I think everyone else would know what she's talking about. Okay. Charlotte comes out wearing all black because it's slimming.
Sure.
It's the second week in a row that she's worn that. I don't know. Maybe she's still aware that it's past Labor Day and you don't go into pastels before Easter. She wore that. She comes out and talks shit about everyone else. And that caused Becky and Asuka to beat each other up, and they beat each other up going into the backstage. Who cares about that? Naomi versus Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville in tow alongside Mandy Rose. I was so disappointed in this match. I was so disappointed. I really thought there was going to be a lot more hair pulling and bitch slapping and everything, but it was what I said about last year about Evolution being the greatest pay-per-view of the year was that every match seemed very seamless and very fluid, and every women's match didn't have those stutter steps, you know, the planting. There was a fuck ton of planting in this match when there shouldn't have been any planting. It should have been Naomi trying to yank the hair out of Mandy Rose's hair, and Mandy trying to run away, or Mandy trying to slap Naomi, and that didn't happen. It was a lot of this match that I don't know if Naomi and Mandy is going to carry on after this. I don't know.
I think it's done after the Rumble, maybe 1 or 2 more weeks. You can only get so much out of it. Like they're trying kind of like the opposite of what Enzo, Rusev, and Lana did.
Yeah.
Where instead of like Rusev being the like Lana doing it to piss off Rusev, or not piss off to get Enzo and Rusev to beat up Enzo. Now it's, you know, Mandy trying to do it to, you know, Jey Uso to piss off Naomi. So there's not much you could do about it. I think it's run its course, and there's not much else to run with. Maybe 1 or 2 more weeks, and that's it.
Yeah,
just gives them something to do with all the Asuka, Becky, the man. Like, it gives them a storyline, which is great, but it's very
and I
weak.
understand it keeps them on TV and everything, but you could have rolled with this.
Oh yeah,
this could have been really good. And you could have incorporated more of the men into it. I mean, sure, the Usos were dogged into it, but I'm sure Sonya or Mandy could have found a male friend or a male team to dog into it. You know, it could have been a lot more than what this turned out to be. The Miz going against Cesaro. Shane McMahon and Sheamus are in their respective corners. Cesaro won neutralizer that we don't normally see. This is just a kind of throwaway thing, except we got Shane McMahon interjecting himself into Sheamus, trying to upend into the match. Shane goes through the table. Miz goes through a table. It was kind of fun. Yeah, I guess I'll put it that way. Yeah, it happened. Seriously. Will the Miz turn on Shane in the Royal Rumble? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
Sorry. I mean,
no, I don't expect anything else. I've told you, yes or no questions. Those are the reactions that I'm hoping for. It's okay. Vince McMahon coming out to talk. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan to have a face-to-face, which sounds so stupid. Just do a contract signing. That would have been a lot better, but that's okay. We have a face-to-face. AJ Styles comes into the ring and says his piece. Daniel Bryan comes out, but he does not go into the ring, does not say his piece. In fact, I want to play a part of Daniel Bryan's monologue during this because there was a fabulous tweet that I've got up right now from a young lady named Oren. I said, non-wrestling fans who are wondering what's up with wrestling, check this out. So you're listening to this and you're not a wrestling fan. Just listen to it.
Vince, of course you don't want to listen to this because you and the entire baby boomer generation are the great parasites of this world. You see, these people bowed down to you when you came out, but they don't realize that you and your entire generation, you take, and you give nothing back, putting profits over both the people and the planet every single time. And they bow to you for it. They bow to you for it. It's like you pulled this incredible magic trick, this illusion. Well, you've concealed from them all the economic and environmental debt that you've created, and they've become satisfied with trading Instagram likes and Facebook messages and social media stuff. All while you're in the back hoarding all the wealth, hoarding all the power, and they ignore it because they're distracted. You've created an environment for somebody like AJ Styles to become a hero.
There is a vast difference between the writing staffs of Raw and SmackDown. There's a vast difference between the talent between Raw and SmackDown. It was shown this week. Okay. That promo, that line by Daniel Bryan set his character apart, set the logic, set the pathos, set the ethics, set everything about what his character is. Fantastic. This was John Cena levels of synopses go home into a pay-per-view. Fantastic stuff. Okay. Does this make me more interested in the Daniel Bryan AJ Styles match? Absolutely not. What it makes me interested in, though, is what the Daniel Bryan character is now. Okay. That is, of all the stuff that happened on SmackDown tonight, on that night, that is what floored me, was Daniel Bryan's performance. There's no way you could tell me writers wrote that. That was on him giving bullet points. That was fantastic stuff.
Daniel Bryan is one of the most over heels ever in the company, and he continues to kind of like just reinvent himself every single time, where he's not just a heel. Like, as much as he's an eco-friendly heel like he has been before when he was like the vegan warrior, this is completely different than it was. What was that? 8 years ago? 7 years ago?
Oh God! Yeah, it was well, God. During the early stages of the show last year, I watched a match between AJ Styles and Bryan Danielson inside a fucking VFW Hall in Indiana. But Bryan Danielson in that match was the heel, and the way that he would interact with the audience as the heel, using big words and stuff like that, pales in comparison to what this heel is going against this AJ Styles nearly a decade later. It's absolutely amazing to see this evolution just happen. Going from location and production differences to what the location and production differences are now, and what these talents are now also, and the paths that they took. It's incredible to see all of this. And I'm kind of thankful that some of the people that have been watching the show kind of stumbled upon this match alongside with me to kind of see what all AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan and what they were before then and everything, what it's about. But holy hell, the cultivation of this character, where we just thought it was a quote-unquote new Daniel Bryan, it has come full circle now. When it comes to AJ Styles, I don't know. You like hot dogs? You like AJ Styles? I don't know.
Doug Lackey, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is hot dog? No.
Is it a taco?
Yes. It is a processed pork taco. Yes.
There you go.
It's a processed pork taco, just because of the shape and everything. I know you can't see me on cam, but everyone else can, because it's shaped like this. I'm not shaping my hands like a heart, but it's opened on the top, because the meat goes in there.
That's on delay, I can see it. I'm watching you do it.
I will get into arguments with people about meat and bread before I get into arguments about professional wrestling. Just so you know, because I have more passion in that than professional wrestling. Yes. R-Truth backstage saying he can't wait to enter at number 30 for the Royal Rumble. R-Truth says he will go after Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles. Carmella says, "What about Brock Lesnar?" Truth says, "I don't want to go to Softball City." Carmella says it's Suplex City. Truth says, "Well, maybe he'll go after the Cruiserweight title." Carmella says there's a 205 limit. R-Truth says, now I'm fat." Carmella says no, and he stomps off. Once again, and Ken and I were talking about this, R-Truth is a fantastic person.
Oh yeah, that was off air. He is so good.
Yeah, off air, and he's just a great person. Charlotte Flair then bumps into Carmella, and they talk shit. Who cares? Yes, Roy. Daniel Bryan is Captain Planet. Yes, I totally agree. Samoa Joe versus Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali had a fantastic pre-produced promo introducing himself and what he saw and the differences between himself and Samoa Joe, and talking about Samoa Joe's eyes and the words that he said. But the production and everything of Ali's promo was fantastic. He's going to be on SmackDown for a long time, even though Joe beat him clean. Moving Ali to the SmackDown main roster was a very, very good move, I think.
I agree.
Yeah. Is he going to win the Royal Rumble? No, absolutely not. No, not at all. Will he have a longer standing program with Joe? Maybe.
He's getting the U.S. title this year.
Yes, I will. Yes, absolutely. He'll get the U.S. title this year. Over who? Who knows? It could be on a clusterfuck. Who knows? Yeah, but Samoa Joe won clean on that one. Let's see. New Day interview backstage. They said some happy shit. It made us happy. Made us smile. Rey Mysterio versus Andrade. Best of 2 out of 3 falls match. Did it surpass the match of the year candidate from last week? Absolutely not. Because a lot of it seemed forced. There were a couple of botches in it. And Samoa Joe interrupted the end of near the third fall. And Samoa Joe got a microphone, and he started talking, and then RKO out of nowhere. So Randy Orton is now going to be in the Royal Rumble. I really wish that Rey and Andrade could just have matches from here on out, but we know that's not really going to happen. We know that can never happen. By the way, poll results from Raw. 65% gave it a thumbs up. What about SmackDown? What did you think about SmackDown? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I've been enjoying SmackDown. I think, to be honest, the entire show has been carried by Rey and Andrade.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I love Brian, I love a lot of the other things that are going on. It makes it no question with Rey and Andrade.
Gotcha. So we give it a thumbs up.
Yes.
We gave it a thumbs up. Ken gave it a thumbs up. I didn't do nothing. I just pointed with my mouse.
Did you give it a thumbs in the middle?
Oh, dear God, if you give me a thumbs up. Oh, my God. 86% thumbs up on SmackDown Live. So these have been some. SmackDown Live has been considerably high numbers, like you said, with Rey and Andrade. Raw has been. And I guess it's just because it's given more scrutiny. I guess is the best way to put it.
More eyes, more people, longer show. It's kind of hard to, one bad thing can just like we talk about Andrade and Rey making SmackDown so good. One bad thing in 3 hours can make the entire show bad.
Exactly. And the other way that I look at it is, it's just like it says on our Facebook thread. Nobody watches SmackDown. Everyone watches Raw. I don't know. What's a SmackDown? Oh, hey! So, going over the news items. Real quick, going to try to fly through the rest of this stuff because you have got an important job on your hands, sir.
Oh, I'm ready to go.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Is your liver ready to go?
My liver is always ready to go. I'm going to drink some right now.
I've been drinking some 10% Imperial Porters, so I'm feeling it a little.
Oh, there you go. This is the time of year for porter. You don't drink porter in the summer.
Well, you get Founders down in Charlotte. They just actually launched barrel-aged Imperial Stout today, and there was lines. Mind you, today's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Lines at 1 p.m. or not even 1, like 11 a.m. Just lines around the corner waiting for people to get in to buy this beer.
Founders Scotch Barrel-Aged Kentucky Breakfast Stout.
The KBS.
Oh,
that's
the
coming
KBS.
out in 2 months.
Oh God.
Hold on.
Yes.
Oh, you can keep talking. You can keep talking.
I'll go ahead and keep talking here. Oh,
I'm just gonna come off camera.
By the way, no, it's okay. Oh, there it is, KBS. Yep, that's the stuff. Hey, the Revival asks for their release last Thursday. I just thought I'd remind you. They also gave special requests to Vince McMahon on their Monday night show. I'm just gonna bypass this right now. That's all. I just wanted to make that known. Oh, by the way, other people could be exiting soon as well, including Dolph Ziggler. There was a report coming out from PW Insider and Dark Overlord Meltzer that Dolph Ziggler could be on his way out from the company after turning down an offer to become a producer. Ziggler, he's been off TV since the steel cage match with Drew McIntyre. He could be exiting the company as early as the end of the month. He's currently booked to take part in a stand-up comedy tour and is off the road with the WWE. He changed his Twitter handle to Nick Nemeth while promoting the upcoming tour. Oh, by the way, this same report that Dark Overlord Meltzer's site did also indicated that Mike Kanellis recently requested his release from the WWE but was denied. Would any of this been happening if AEW had not announced any kind of trademarks?
No.
Probably not.
I'm going to be honest, and I don't take credence to any of this. The only one that's the most believable is Dolph Ziggler, just because of how outspoken he's been since his U.S. title run.
Yeah.
That he, laid on the floor and left. The rest of the stuff, like Mike and Maria, being honest, realistic human beings, like the WWE paid for Mike to go through rehab, paid for Maria while she was on maternity leave. I don't buy that at all. I think that just because I think a lot of people are selling on the internet. from like Sasha Banks, from the Revival. I think a lot of people are taking ownership to get people talking about them, but I really don't think sans Dolph Ziggler, because I mean they've also mentioned Zack Ryder too. They've
Yeah.
mentioned, there are a lot of names that are getting put in regards to AEW, and sure, there's going to be some who leave, but I really don't think it's going to be the ones that you think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a few mid-carders that just, are looking for something different or kind of looking for something new. And to be honest, one of the names that could be on there is going to be Apollo Crews, Yuha Nation.
That's one name that would not surprise me. It's the only thing is with him, he's been on TV regularly now after a month. He had been off TV before with being Titus Worldwide and all that junk going on. There are a lot of other names that I can think of that might jump ship, but the problem is I just can't make those now just because we're on the cusp of when Christmas and New Year's happen, the reset button is clicked. Mm-hmm. Everyone is put back on TV for some purpose or another. Everyone is reminded that they're still alive. And so it's from there you can't really make any predictions on who's going to be the victim of the quote-unquote spring cleaning. You really won't know that until 2 weeks before WrestleMania is the thing. And the thing is, nor do I ever hope that anyone loses their position with the WWE. That's not what I do. That's not what I'm thinking. But for the love of God, none of this would be happening if trademarks were never placed for AEW.
Yep.
Okay, that's number one. So you're going to see a lot of shit happening about everyone jumping ship, and it ain't happening. By the way, you speak of Maria. She denied the reports about requesting release, citing such of her maternity leave.
Well, when do you want to leave a pond where you're, say, number 30 or number 40 in the pond to go to another pond where you're number 15 or number 20? Like, you're going up against some of the best that are free agents in AEW, especially with the likes of pretty much the entire, the Elite Bullet Club. So you got Cody, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Pac. There's some Hangman Page, Marty Scurll. Like, all these people are going there to where, it's not like when Austin Aries leaves WWE to go to TNA to be the top guy. Because that's the problem with Austin Aries. He thinks he's the top guy and he's not a top guy. Yeah. And you go to AEW, and just like if you're Mike Kanellis, you're not going to make Austin Aries top guy indie money as Mike Kanellis. Right. Even how, as talented as you are, you're just not going to do it. So Austin Aries can be the top guy in TNA, can go to indies, can make more money, but some of these guys, like your for instance, your Zack Ryder, your Dolph Ziggler, these guys are going to make so much more money, have better insurance, and even with the whole insurance package and everything like that they're doing with AEW, I just don't think there's going to be anything that they can accomplish outside of the WWE that they aren't doing right now in the WWE.
Oh, right. I guess there are so many different factors when it comes to being with AEW that, I mean, I could devote an entire 2-hour show to why anyone would jump ship to AEW, pros and cons.
Let's go. Let's go to 11 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, sure. Why not? My big thing right now is, why would you jump ship from a company that just paid for your rehab, paid for your maternity leave, and you've just gotten back on TV that's on the internet? Why would you do that?
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't. That makes no sense to me. More apart than that, you've been making money this entire time. You've been making money. You've been living. Why would you want to destroy that bridge? Shut up. Now, if you're Nick Nemeth and you've made a career out of poking and prodding the WWE and throwing red meat into the fans of Twitter that might be paying attention to you, and you might be throwing out those little one-liners and stuff to keep them frothing at the mouth, sure, more power to you. How old are you? Are you going to be doing
32?
Yeah, are you going to be doing what you're doing in AE? You wanted to be Shawn Michaels, and you're going to go to the federation that's got Chris Jericho? Good luck.
He's 38.
Good luck. Hey, Women of World Wrestling debuted on Access TV last Friday night. You're better at segues than I am. That's the only way that I can do this. I
mean,
haven't.
Dolph Ziggler, Shawn Michaels, flamboyant, Women of Wrestling, go.
Yeah, that's how you do it. I'm just gonna try to fly through these. Hey, speaking of happily married couples like the Canellises, Nikki Cross and Killian Dane got married after 10 years of dating.
Yay.
Yay! That kind of understands why Killian Dane was so weird about seeing Nikki appear on Raw last week. That makes perfect sense now, because I was like, why do you care, Killian? Oh! I understand now.
There was another marriage that just happened with Sarah Logan and one of the War Raiders.
Yeah, that's right. Sarah Logan and one of the War Raiders. They had an American Viking wedding.
Yeah, that shit was ridiculous. The video package that they promoted, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I tried touting to my girlfriend, honey, when we get married, I don't want that. And she was like, "Oh, I got no problem with that, honey. We'll just go to a bar." I was like, "Yeah, that's right."
I did friend of the court, and went to a barbecue joint after. Best money I never spent, because obviously it's still not happening.
Oh, look at you.
Why do you think I had $200 to donate?
I knew it. That's what I was wondering. I knew it couldn't be from anything that you actually did with your work ethic. Hulk Hogan. I'm kidding.
Ow.
I'm kidding. I couldn't think of anything else. Hulk Hogan says he's too old to wrestle again. Are you buying that?
Yes.
I am too. WWE announces that the Women's Royal Rumble. So they revealed more names on Sunday for the Women's Royal Rumble match on the Twitter. I got a text from Adam that Sunday asking if we should do a live show covering this. I told him
women
no.
Being announced?
Yeah, I told him no. Just because, number one, I don't think a lot of people will tune in. But also in the back of my mind, I don't think anything newsworthy will be announced. And sure enough, nothing newsworthy was announced, because the names that they announced were all names that are already on their main roster. You name them. Lana, the members of the Riot Squad, the Dana Brooke, Charlotte Flair, Ember Moon, you name it. There were no new names announced. So,
do you mind if I go back real quick? Because I'm looking at the Women of Wrestling roster right now.
Yeah.
And it really has such a original, what's the glow feel? And there's someone named Nikki Krampus, which is literally just a female Krampus, and I want to watch this now.
Yes, it is. I'm trying to remember if it is co-produced or something or other from one of the originators of Glow.
Like, I see Tessa Blanchard. I know who she is. There's a few people that I kind of recognize in regards to seeing from the indies, but like, this looks fucking awesome. Like, I am going to watch this after this show.
I'm gonna tell you.
Don't do it.
Well, no. Go ahead. Okay, I'm gonna DVR it. I do have to check this out, because I remember watching Glow from the 80s. Okay, and it was bad. Oh, it was so bad.
So my only introduction to Glow is the Netflix show. So
no.
Not as good.
No, it's worse. The Netflix show actually does it justice.
Well, I mean, Allison Brie is good.
Glow itself as a show in the 80s was incredibly pre-produced. The quality was atrocious. But it's true that the stereotypes were the stereotypes that you see on your Netflix show. Okay, the overweight women, the slender women, the knockouts. I mean, it's all the same. It's just when I see names affiliated with Glow affiliated with this legitimate Glow, it makes me cringe, because I'm okay. The only thing I vividly remember about Glow, and I'm talking about a program involving characters here, is that there was a Papa Shango-like female character that put a hex on Miss Olympia, put a hex on her, and she acted like a zombie going after 3 other women in the ring. Seriously. That's what it was.
As
Put
long
a
as I'm
spell on
entertained, I
her.
don't care.
Put a spell on her, and she went like.
I'm watching your video. Sorry, I'm on like delay because I'm on YouTube.
No, go ahead and have fun. No, it's okay. I'm glad you see my reactions now. Go ahead and have fun with it. Okay? Knock yourselves out. I will not judge you. Okay? It's just I know what Glow was. All right? Go right ahead. Tessa Blanchard may destroy whatever myth Glow was, but yeah. Damian Sandow had a fantastic interview earlier. I think it was Saturday that we posted this. It was from Two Man Power Trip of Wrestling. Brought this to us. Doing an interview with Damian Sandow about how he came to terms with his WWE release and about the early critiques about his character. I highly recommend you check out this interview because he describes his coming to Jesus moment at WrestleMania during the Andre Battle Royale, where he turned on The Miz. And he describes how this is the reaction that he's always wanted, that he wants to try to get again. He also describes about the cultivation of his character, Damian Sandow. It's really an interesting interview. It's just sad that he doesn't really talk a whole lot about his badassery, but I highly recommend it to everyone, especially if you're a Damian Sandow fan like me. Matt Hardy came out and said that he wasn't retiring anytime soon, that he was green-lit for a physical return. Amazingly enough, he decided to state this from a random person who tweeted him 4 days ago. Rudy Sanchez is no one that we know. It's just a name he chose out of the blue. And he happened to be on Twitter at 2:30 in the afternoon. Said that no, he was not retired. He was not going to be retiring anytime soon. I've worked my ass off to rehabilitate and have physically been greenlit. My body is in the best shape it's been in years. And I'm the lightest I've been in 20 years. So apparently Matt Hardy will be going to 205 Live soon. Sure. Will Matt Hardy be in the Royal Rumble? Go.
No.
Okay. Yes or no questions. That's all I really ask for. Let's see. Finn Balor said that he don't expect the Demon to be at the Royal Rumble this Sunday. ESPN.com featuring the quote, I feel like maybe I leaned on the Demon too much. My Irish accent is really horrible. I feel like maybe I leaned on the Demon too much there in the past as a crutch, and I can assure you that the man who faces Bork Laser at the Rumble will be Finn Balor the man. I think a lot of people were surprised when I came out of WrestleMania not in Demon paint, but I feel like I had a bigger message to spread that day, one of equality and acceptance. Will Finn Balor be in Demon paint at the Royal Rumble? Go!
No.
Yes, he will.
No.
No.
He will at WrestleMania. He won't at the Rumble.
Who will he do it against WrestleMania? Go!
Brock Lesnar.
He's going to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania?
Yep.
Oh, my God. I'm going to take a drink to that.
Well, good thing that's not your locked pick that I have for you.
Oh, we got to
lead you into that one.
Oh, we got to fly. XFL negotiating potential TV deals with 2 major outlets for the 2020 debut. They are suspected to be ESPN and Fox. Who'd have thunk it? ESPN with their negotiating deals that they've been doing alongside with them when Coach was with ESPN and with Fox because they had the TV deal with them. News.
Did you watch the 30 for 30 for the XFL?
Oh, yeah.
like I never realized like one thing that it's so crazy is that Vince McMahon is so ahead of times that
Yes.
the XFL was not ready for the XFL, and the windfall of issues was something they could never recover from.
Yeah.
But when you come back, because they have, I don't know what it's called, but like the spider cam, the cam that like crosses over above the
Mm-hmm.
field, which
Mm-hmm.
the NFL and NCAA took from the XFL.
Yep.
Like with the XFL this year, I think there's plenty that they're going to be able to do in regards to the fact that there's just so much talent that they're going to be able to pay for talent to be able to perform without having to worry about a second job. And that's really the kind of talent you need as someone who can concentrate. As much as they're not bringing home the hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, they're bringing home a steady paycheck to where they don't have to worry about that. One thing that I feel like they're going to have to worry about is the fact that they will be the minor league and
Yes.
people will scout the shit out of them.
Yes. Yes. And that should be their major. That should be their focus. Is being a minor league, but not affiliated with specific teams, not being affiliated with specific leagues. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they have to specifically go to the NFL. They could go to the Canadian Football League. I think that's one thing that a lot of people have been losing focus on is Canada has a football league too. They can make a ton of money with them as well.
So
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt, I
No, go ahead.
apologize, but
No, you're
according
fine.
to what's going on, the salary of talent is going to make more money than the CFL. To where I think a lot of people from the CFL are going to move down into the US to play in the XFL, and I think there's going to be to be honest, I don't think the XFL is competition for the NFL. I think the XFL is
No.
competition for the CFL.
Right. I always really have a problem with organizations when it comes to anything, sports related, entertainment related, reality show related, being competition to something else. I can't imagine that he's doing this to actively compete with Canadian football. But the reasons that he's bringing about the XFL are completely different to why he brought about the XFL back then. This was when the XFL was first brought about in the 90s, and I vividly remember watching this in my first year of college, watching the XFL games. This was in the middle of the baseball strike and the NBA strike, to where like everyone felt that athletes were entitled, that athletes were not getting their fair share. And so Vince thought to bring about this football league to compete with the NFL and an impending strike and an impending walkout, in that these guys are working for their money, was why they were doing this. That is not the reason he's bringing the XFL this time around. And I really don't know why. I don't know what he can't be capitalizing on politics. He can't be capitalizing on anything else. And he can't be competing with other organizations. I really don't know what he's trying to get from this. But
So
I don't
in
know.
regards to sports, like obviously he's going to be competing against basketball and baseball because the CFL actually competes head to head with the NFL
Right.
in regards to time based, because like the Grey Cup's in November every year.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're referencing what they're trying to compete against, I think there's in regards to direct competition, I know arena football still exists. I just don't know when they play it.
They don't. It's not shown on TV. That's for damn sure.
Exactly. But when you have the money behind it, you really can. He's trying to recreate what the USFL could do, but with a much better sense, as opposed to just taking a bunch of money and throwing it at the wind, kind of like what they did with the XFL. But the XFL did have a lot of brand new things, brand new items, things that they could do within the sport itself.
Right.
But you can't do it these days. Like the whole, instead of a coin flip, you guys are running to get the football. You can't do that anymore. Like so many injuries happened. So there's only so many things that they could do to try to recreate the game of football. But in the same sense, I think they're going to try to harken back to maybe older days with a little more leniency in regards to hitting,
Mm-hmm.
especially because you're not paying so much money for these players. So I think you're going to get a little bit of a more aggressive game, but I think they're going to plan on it to be more aggressive with the time too. Like they're going to try to get the game done as fast as possible, not as fast as possible, but fast to where you're not just sitting there investing 4 hours just for a single game.
Yeah.
So I think, and somebody from chat says, football's lost popularity, which I kind of disagree. There's not too much loss of popularity. If you base it off of attendance, I think a lot of people are still attending the games to where, even if at a loss, it's not a loss to where it's too crazy. And we could go into your favorite topic, which is the ratings of the world.
Hi.
But in the end, you're not going to get like the XFL is going to be a great alternative for someone who still wants to watch football after football's over.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. There is a market for the XFL. Don't get me wrong. Okay, to have it be the off season of the NFL for everyone to tune into, not a problem. You want to tune in to watch some guys play football in 100-degree weather? Knock yourself out. You want them to play football where the heat index is Satan's asshole? Go right ahead.
Are they getting past June? I thought like the title was going to be sometime in like June.
Something like that. I guess.
I mean, you can get 100-degree in weather in June, but still, that's why I'm like, it's not July, August, September, like early September.
Yeah, it's I guess, man. My thing with first off, I got no problem with the XFL. You can go ahead and have your football league or whatnot go right ahead. My issue with XFL in general, and this is back from the first incarnation of XFL, NBA, NHL, NFL, NCAA, Major League Baseball. Do any of these entities have a central owner? No.
I was going to say I didn't think so.
None,
Sorry.
These 5 organizations, hockey, basketball, baseball, football, and collegiate sports, do not have a central owner. Owner. I'm not talking commissioner. I'm not talking manager. I'm not talking judge. I'm not talking anything else. Owner. Someone, an entity, or a group of people own this organization of sport. XFL is going to be the only one. There is no such thing in any other sport. Anything. Arena football, lacrosse, name it. No one owns the sport. Okay? And I mean the organization that will house this sport. You're going to have teams, wherever the hell those cities may be, who the hell cares? You're going to have a commissioner that's going to oversee the rules, but who cares? Someone owns the XFL.
So I'm clarifying what you're saying because it took me a minute to understand. Because you have the owner, Alpha Entertainment, Vince McMahon, but you have a commissioner, which is Oliver Luck. But if you go to the NFL, you have Roger Goodell, and that's it. Everyone owns a team, but there is no owner of the entire league.
Exactly. You have collectors of owners that are a group of people. Then you have the players, the group of people, and they embody the organization. Okay? And then you have the commissioner that oversees both of them, but does not enforce what happens within the organization. Vince McMahon will be able to do so. I want the Patriots to beat the terrorists. Vince McMahon can do that for you. I want the Cowboys to beat the Indians. Vince McMahon can do that for you. Anything about this organization, whatever it is, sounds really great. Okay? If you want to watch it, go right ahead and treat it as a minor league organization of some kind. But don't be telling me it's sport. Okay? When one entity owns it, okay, there's a big, big difference between imagining XFL and comparing it to any sports entity. USFL tried to be that. I mean, Trump pales in comparison to what Vince McMahon is doing. Okay? Trump just wanted a team. Vince McMahon wants the entire goddamn league. Okay? So, knock yourself out. If you love football, you will love this. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not even mentioning anything about pro wrestling in this. I'm not even inserting anything into this. I'm just talking about how an entity owns this organization and can make it anything it wants it to be. That's it.
Have you looked at some of the rules and stuff that's going to be happening for the XFL?
No, I don't care.
Okay, then I won't mention.
I remember back in the original XFL where you could behead the guy catching the kickoff. Okay.
Well, yes, in regards to fair catches, but they have like a 1, 2, and 3 point attempt for extra points, as well as they're going to try to outlaw the 3-point stance.
Okay.
This is like the arena football, they're going to try to outlaw the 2-minute or outside of the 2-minute drill, the entire clock continuously runs no matter what.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think that's where they're going to plan on speeding up the game. Yeah, it's a lot of good things. To be honest, for me, I think kickoffs are a waste of time.
Sure.
And you should just at this point, like if you score a point or score something, you can either decide to like you need something. There's SB Nation did a great job in regards to why kickoffs are stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And something you should definitely look at in regards to the rest of the people. I don't know if you care enough to pay attention to it. But yeah, it's one of those like just so many injuries happen from kickoffs that
Sure.
it's just not necessary anymore these days.
Well, I mean, injuries happen throughout the entire game.
That's true, but in kickoffs, it's always been a higher percentage versus the rest of the game.
Yeah. I just, oh God, this harkens me back to it was a thread that good old CJ in our chat room brought up about how he would change the rules of baseball to make it faster, and everyone wants everything to be faster. Coming from someone who drinks scotch and smokes cigars, savor life. Enjoy it. Okay? Why would you want something to end so quickly? What do you have to do? No, I'm just putting it out there. That's a nice cigar you have there.
Thank you.
What do you have to do? Okay? I really want to throw this out to the generation that's in front of me and might be in front of you also, Ken. Why do you want this stuff to move faster? Why? What are you going to miss? What are you going to miss? You're going to sit there for another half hour? You're going to miss off your jerk-off time? Shut up. Stop it. You're not missing anything. Stop.
I think in regards to sports that take a long time, that have so many stops in time, like the NFL,
okay.
if you change it to like NHL, like the NHL games take about 3 hours for you to watch, but it's consistent movement, consistent going, kind of like basketball too.
Right.
You know, as much as they might be slowly going into each end, but with football, it's play 5-10 seconds, stop for almost a minute, play 5-10 seconds, stop for almost a minute.
Right.
And I think that's what slows people down. So when you go to baseball, it's pitch, throw back, 20-second break, pitch, throw back, 20-second break, to where it's not you want that constant contact of watching something. And unless it's either a pitching masterpiece where like strikeout, 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 or it's a hitting masterpiece where everyone's getting, single, double, home run, you're not really entertained. You're just kind of sitting there and you're more socializing than you are watching the game. And
gotcha.
Yeah. I feel like, so remember the Chicago Cubs, the dude that caught the ball over Moises Alou and like ruined the entire Chicago Cubs franchise apparently.
Yeah. Bartman.
So
Bartman.
Yeah. So Steve Bartman, he had headphones on. What was he doing? He was listening to the play-by-play because watching the game is that boring to him.
There's so many generational arguments that can be made for every sport. How it's being viewed and how you attend it, and how it's interpreted. It just amazes me how it's just a sign of, I guess, how old I am. I'm turning into a curmudgeon. I'm turning into that old fart that's telling kids to get off my lawn. And
You
I'm
got like
trying
1
hard not
year
to
on
be
me.
that.
Calm down.
Oh, okay.
Enjoy
Alrighty.
the fact. Hold on. I want you to look because you're looking at my video. You might be graying out a little bit, but I wish I was fucking graying out. So,
Okay.
enjoy your
All
age,
right.
enjoy everything. As much as I got this, which I don't know if you can grow a nice little
No, I can't.
beard
No, I
and
can't.
mustache, but I'd much rather have a clean shaven with a nice head up top than you do with this. Sorry.
No. I appreciate it. No, I wish that I could grow this on the sides of my face and underneath evenly. It just don't. But I'll be honest, I'm glad that this up top stays put. The Silver Fox goes. And
You know we have a pay-per-view to still
oh yeah,
recap.
that's right. Shit, we got more stuff to talk about. Let's stop making people in our chat horny. Ronda Rousey appears to blur the lines in a new message directed at Sasha Banks. Ronda Rousey said, shit, I'm not even going to go over that. Who cares? That's what I say. Random things to go over. I hope I can operate this thing. Yes, I can. Injury report. Hey, why wasn't AOP on TV for the last 3 weeks? It was because Akam underwent surgery on his knee the past week, as reported by Dark Overlord Meltzer's Wrestling Observer. It's expected to keep him out for the next 2 months. However, Razor has been doing dark matches on house shows alongside Drake Maverick against Tyler Breeze for the past 2 weeks. So, who knows what we may see in the next few months with AOP, in particular Razor and Maverick. This is going to be really, really interesting to check out. I would not be surprised of what may come from it. I really don't want to start speculating right now. We talked about John Cena's suffering an ankle injury, but we think he's going to be at the Royal Rumble. Big news when it comes to the milk carton, though. This week, Aiden English joined 205 Live's commentary team. And he has been basically taken off to be on 205 Live's commentary. He is now off the milk carton. He is off the roster for SmackDown. And he has basically joined alongside Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness. This is interesting, okay, in that I really thought that I was fearing that English was going to be parting ways soon. But if this Joker, he was weighing in at 215 or 220. If the Joker can lose 10 or 15 pounds, go right ahead to 205. There's a home for you right there. And he's a fantastic character to put on there. There's nothing wrong with it.
I like Aiden. Like, I think he's a very, very talented person. Like, I didn't realize, like, I hit him up on Pro Fight DB to realize that he hadn't been on a match since like October. Yeah. But in regards to what he is, like, the commentary is so crazy of how good it's getting to where I have a feeling that Michael Cole's gonna get released soon.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I think he's going to do more production as opposed to commentary. So let me rephrase that. Not released as in removed from WWE, but released from his commentary duties. And if they, honest to God, if they could sign Pat McAfee to be like the what's her name? Renee Young?
Yeah.
Like, and move Renee Young over to commentary full time. That, like, the Renee Young for pre-shows, I should say,
Right.
And then move Pat McAfee into Renee Young's position. To be honest, with Vic Joseph, with Nigel McGuinness, like, even God, what's his name, Corey Graves, like, there's such a good talent that they could mixture everyone and do a good job. And Percy Watson, oh yeah.
There's a lot of. Right now, it seems like they have a very cohesive balance with commentating right now. I think the hardest part they have right now is Corey Graves is a workhorse. He is not going to be able to do both of these red and blue shows for forever. They're going to have to find a way to put him on one and either make the red or the blue show a two-man team or find a replacement for him on either or. It's going to be a while till that really happens. It's going to be a while. As far as Michael Cole goes, in my opinion, I've done these predictions before. He has been an executive producer for a long time. Okay, he's been with the company for, we're looking at upwards of well over 15 years. More than that. No, we're looking at nearly 20 years. In 10 years' time, he's going to step away from the mic. In 10 years. It's going to take a lot to take him away from the mic because that's the only voice apart from Jim Ross's and Gorilla Monsoon's that Vince McMahon has ever heard. It's going to be a while. And it's going to take some other shifting around to go up top for that to happen. So that's just kind of what I see. Injury list update. I've got to get to these predictions in the milk carton quickly. Okay. Jason Jordan still has a hurt neck. He's been backstage. We don't know if he's ever going to perform again. Sami Zayn, torn rotator cuffs. He's going to be returning sometime around WrestleMania times. Fandango, torn labrum. He should be back in time for the Royal Rumble. Goldust, blown knees. They were cleaned out. He's too busy being a sheriff in Georgia. Sin Cara has been working out at the Performance Center. He did the South American tour 2 months ago. He should be reappearing on SmackDown soon. Rowan and Harper. Rowan with a torn bicep. He is gone until February. Harper with the wrist surgery. He is back soon. They are both back because they are at the Performance Center getting hyped up. Dark Overlord Meltzer said that they were supposed to be back as early as this week. They didn't. Liar. Kevin Owens, knee surgery cleanup on both of them. He's going to be back in due time. Roman Reigns has the cancer. Wish him well. He's going to destroy that fucker. Ty Dillinger, wrist surgery. We don't... Do you miss him?
I'm totally not doing the 10 right in front of the camera.
No, you're trying not to. Liar on my list is Braun Strowman with the elbow surgery. He is officially back and in the ring. Not on my list is Akam with the knee surgery. He will not be back until WrestleMania times, they say, but I don't think he's going to be back until post-WrestleMania. So that's your injury list. But the most important list of all of them is the list of performers that are not injured, that have not been on TV for the past 3 weeks. They end up on the WWE milk carton, a.k.a. the people who are signing on to AEW. Well, seriously, AOP. Razor has not been on TV, bringing up my database right now, has not been on TV. Razor, where are you? Since New Year's Eve, talking about their New Year's resolutions. They haven't found them out yet. Tyler Breeze. He hasn't been on TV since I believe he got squashed. No, he was in a battle royale. There was a battle royale going on. He hasn't been seen since then.
So I want to time out real quick, so you don't count main event as TV.
No. Only mainstream WWE TV, Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-view.
I got you, because he just wrestled, obviously, Razor, which you mentioned,
right,
on main event this week.
Right. So I'm only talking mainstream television, okay, because that's what matters.
Gotcha.
Mojo Rawley has not been seen since that battle royale on New Year's Eve on Raw. Oh,
he's going away.
He's probably going to be going away. Dolph Ziggler has not been seen since bringing up my things. Where are you? New Year's Eve when he faced off against Drew McIntyre. Yep. He might be seeing better things. We'll see. The Good Brothers, Anderson and Gallows, have not been seen since they made their New Year's resolution on New Year's Day. Shelton Benjamin has not been seen since New Year's Day when he made his New Year's resolution of how he thought everyone else was crap, but we haven't seen how great he is since he hasn't been on television in 3 weeks. Jeff Hardy has not been seen on television since New Year's Day when he had his match against Samoa Joe. He is going to be at the Royal Rumble, so that's okay. Lana has not been seen since her segment involving she getting squashed by Nakamura after Rusev kicked Nakamura in the face. She will be at the Royal Rumble. It's okay. All of Sanity has not been seen since Christmas Day, since their magnanimous 8-man tag match on SmackDown. Don't worry, they should be showing up on the post-Royal Rumble show when they introduce Nikki Cross into the fold. Primo and Epico Cologne have not been seen since November the 18th Survivor Series.
Oh, that's right.
Man, holy crap. Are they going to be fodder at the Royal Rumble? You betcha. Matt Hardy claims that he has not been retired, but he's been cleared for physical entertainment. So, since SummerSlam, he should be showing up at the Royal Rumble. But then, the stalwart of the milk carton now is a guy who has not been seen since SummerSlam, who is not retired, and should be showing up at the Royal Rumble. At entrant number 4, it's Bray Wyatt. Will he show up at the Royal Rumble, Ken?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Well,
he was at Starrcade.
Well, yeah. Well, he showed up at Starrcade. He's good to go. We know that. But we're about to get into the big things now.
I mean, do you want him to show up in for lackluster? Or do you want to just wait for the time for him to be there? The proper time. You don't need to rush him in.
No, Royal Rumble is the absolute best time to bring him in. Not doing any video packages, not trying to usher him in or anything like that. Just have him spontaneously appear. That's the best time to do it.
I would love for him to come out, the ring goes dark, and someone goes over the top, and the refs don't see that person go over the top, and it starts this giant fight and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, don't worry. My predictions for the Rumble. Oh, you're gonna love the men's Rumble for sure. Prepare your liquor.
All right. Shit. All right. It is now time for the moment that I know at least Ken has been waiting for. My liver has been fearing. All right. Time to bring up said graphics. It is time to predict NXT TakeOver and the Royal Rumble for this weekend, starting on Saturday. If you have nothing better to do, and if you don't have a significant other, you'll be watching this live. NXT
I'll be
TakeOver
there live in Phoenix.
Oh, that's right. You're going to be there. I'm sorry to offend you like that. No.
I am. Apparently, there's a Royal Rumble burger that's a 18-ounce pork bratwurst patty with cheddar cheese, bacon, coleslaw, onions, and a barbecue aioli, topped with fried mac and cheese wedges. I'm watching your face. The reaction, just the straight just pure cholesterol right there.
You know, I've been told that I have an incredibly high metabolism. I mean, I weigh a svelte 190, standing at 6'3". I would accept that challenge. Oh God, that sounds so delectable. I keep on thinking that myself, as someone of my size and stature, I would die of a heart attack before I turned 45 with what I
could
eat.
see it.
Yeah. But
or an aneurysm following wrestling.
Well, yeah. Well, you get an aneurysm involving everyone who's going to be jumping ship going to AEW. But they are showing up for this show at NXT TakeOver because they are that important. That was a really shitty segue. 5 matches are going on at NXT TakeOver Phoenix. I think it's being done where the Suns play. Is that right?
I believe so, yes, because the Royal Rumble's at the ballpark.
Yeah, Chase Field, yeah. So, all right. 5 matches at this show. 7 matches, including the pre-show on the... Well, there's a lot of... 14 matches are happening throughout this weekend. 6 of them are locks. It is Ken that is predicting all of these. So here we go. Oh, I fucked it up. I'm so good at it.
I still love you.
Yeah, there we go. Matt Riddle, Cassius Ohno, Last time I at least saw these jokers was at the last Takeover pay-per-view, where it was just wham bam thank you ma'am. Will this be a wham bam thank you ma'am? Go Ken.
No. Ono and Riddle will have a decent match. Riddle goes over and win the trilogy 3-0.
Oh, who wanted to get him? Sorry.
Matt Riddle.
Riddle's getting it. Okay.
Bro.
Bro. I really like this gimmick of his. It's
I
really
do too. I got.
Yeah, it's really gonna fly. I don't see him coming to the main roster for another maybe 2 or 3 years. Get him a little more established. I mean, he's a really fun act. He's a good fun act.
He's a great opening act, if that makes sense for what he is right now. Like, he
is
is perfect to get the crowd hype, even if it's a dark match and everyone bitches about dark matches. The whole point of a dark match is to get the show rolling.
He is
and something like that.
He's the Dolph Ziggler of the NXT.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the thing is that he has a higher ceiling than Dolph Ziggler ever had.
There we go. Ricochet defending North American title against Johnny Gargano. Go.
Your number one lock.
Uh-oh.
You ready? Do you need to write this down? I can send this to you afterwards.
Well, no, I'm writing them down as you go.
Your winner and new North American NXT champion, Johnny Gargano.
Okay, why are we saying this? What do we see coming from this?
I see Ricochet moving up really soon, like post Rumble. And I don't think there's not much shelf life on Ricochet in regards to character in NXT. I think he is honing his skills in regards to being on TV. Timing, pacing, everything. He's a great wrestler, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
Moving from solid wrestler and work rate to WWE wrestler is two different things. Even in NXT, NXT is different than the main roster in regards to, your pacing and everything like that. So I think he drops it. I think there is a rematch come WrestleMania, NXT TakeOver. Johnny Gargano retains, and therefore he moves up to the main roster. And to be honest, I see him moving up to the main roster along with Undisputed Era and feuding with them moving into the main roster as they both reach there without having to move into, because you could continue. I feel like everyone thinks you need a new feud coming into the main roster, but why not start a feud with someone who you've been feuding with in the NXT ranks? Why not continue that storyline? Continue that, hey, him and Adam Cole can keep going and trick magic within the main roster and still continue their story without having to interfere with the main roster person or need someone to put them over.
I know, I totally get you. Like how it was, I want to say it was about 3 years ago. We had Owens and Zayn. How they brought it in from NXT and then brought it into the main roster. But
they brought it into the main roster via the Rumble, because that's when Zayn first debuted and Sammy or Kevin Owens was in the middle of the match.
Right. It's just... No, I can absolutely buy Ricochet coming to the main roster. Where would the place be? Oh, take your pick. Anywhere. I'm talking on main TV or off main TV. If you want to be a douche, you could say be on 205 Live. If you want to be incredibly optimistic, you say be on Raw. There is a place for Ricochet on any other place on mainstream WWE TV, Raw or SmackDown, is what I'm saying.
He's got 12 to 13 more years of wrestling.
Yes.
That he's
very young. He's very young. Yeah.
He's 30. He does not need to be main roster, main event type person. He can go and travel around in regards to mid card to low mid card for 2 years and then work his way up to be full main card, still get the main card, get the exposure, and people will still love him. To be honest, he's a talented Evan Bourne.
Yes. Yeah. I want to say, and also a more stable Neville is the best way I can think of.
I never liked Neville. I'm not going to lie.
I got to tell you, and everyone is going to be better than Low-Key. We'll put it that way. Okay.
Well, I'm a better wrestler than Low-Key.
I can right now. Okay. I can totally buy Gargano getting the title on this one. I can totally buy that. Ricochet going to the main? I mean, I can totally understand how and why. Would I want to? I don't know if I want to pull that trigger just yet. That's the only thing. I think I just need more time, is the only thing. That's all. Next up, Undisputed Era defending their NXT tag titles against the War Raiders. What say you?
Your winners and still NXT Tag Champs, the Undisputed Era.
Okay. I got a question about Undisputed Era. Where is Bobby Fish? What is he doing?
I think he just came back from injury, maybe a month ago.
Yeah, he's back from injury, but he's not really doing much. He's been back for a decent amount of time.
I can't help you. I've watched like Bobby Fish wrestle live, and he kicked Cassius Ohno in the face like 10 times in an ROH show, and I just don't understand. But according to what Pro Fight DB is saying, is that they've been kind of Freebird ruling those tag titles with Bobby Fish, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. And I think they're going to continue that later because Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong actually, defended the titles against Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah, Humberto Carrillo.
Raul Mendoza.
Okay, so we're freebirding these. Okay. I'm totally buying it now. Maybe this is where they introduced this on the NXT TV tapings, where they introduced the Freebird rules.
They might soon. This was a house show, but obviously house shows you still need to come up with a reason why they're still fighting.
Right. So maybe it's introduced here. Who knows? But no, I totally buy that. Shayna Baszler, the female forehead, against Bianca Belair, the human dreadnought. I mean, the lock of hair. What say you?
Well, speaking of lock of hair, this is lock number 2, Doug Lackey.
Huh?
Bianca Belair wins the title from Shayna Baszler.
Oh, God. Okay. So she's okay. Go ahead, play me.
I am all in for WrestleMania 2019 of 4 horsemen versus 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen.
Oh boy. Okay.
And I don't think it's going to be a 4-on-4 tag. I think there's going to be a little bit more storyline between it, which we will get to with the rest of the picks. But I have Bianca Belair winning, and I have Shayna Baszler losing.
Okay. Now, again, this has to happen either way, okay? The wins or losses, it doesn't matter how it happens. I just want you to understand that, okay? If the horsewomen come in and DQ, that's a win, okay?
I don't think they're coming in to DQ.
Okay, I got you.
I think Belair is winning clean.
All right, I'm just giving you an out here, okay? All right, there's nothing wrong with a shady finish. There's nothing wrong with that, okay?
No, not at all.
All right.
I think you're trying to believe in yourself that there could be a shady finish.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do here. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay. Here's I can definitely buy Belair winning. It's just going beyond that is tough. I can buy Belair winning. I mean, that's no problem. Because of all of the matches that Baszler has had against Io Shirai, and we've got, what's her? Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane. There's other people that have been going into against these horsewomen that they're all going to force feed themselves into this mix of a program, is what I'm kind of looking at. And so whether this means in the long run, the horsewomen coming to WrestleMania, I'm not sure if that matters. Because all that I really matter about is the result, because I really hate this tequila. So, yeah, I totally buy Baszler winning. I totally got you on that, because I see a lot of stuff happening in the periphery in between that. And finally, the main event. Tommaso Ciampa going against Aleister Black, who apparently everyone thinks the music is really kick-ass when I think it's just incredibly tame. What say you?
Ciampa. Ciampa the winner.
Yep.
Easy squeezy.
Okay.
I love Aleister Black. I love his moveset. I love his ability. I think this is definitely a potential match of the year candidate. But in the same sense, Ciampa retains because Ciampa is just too fucking over.
I really miss Ciampa's entrances where it was no music, and people just letting him have it. But now that Gargano has joined the dark side, that's not happening anytime soon. So they have the music to kind of drown out what booing there could be. Aleister Black has run his course.
In NXT, I agree.
In NXT, he's run his course. How immediate do you insert him into the main roster is again left to be. I've never been so iffy on NXT call-ups as I am right now, because all of the ones that I really thought would be are coming in. Lacey Evans, Heavy Machinery, the ones that I knew, Nikki Cross, the ones that I knew would come in are coming in. Right now, I am incredibly iffy on these call-ups, just because I don't think it's going to happen so soon as we think. Just because we've got these 5 acts coming up after Royal Rumble where we know where they're going. We've also had Lucha House Party and Mustafa Ali called up from 205 to be legitimate acts in the ring. We've had Drake Maverick and Lio Rush called up from 205 to be outside periphery acts. So there's going to be a time where we've got to pump the brakes a little bit. We cannot drain the well dry. It's got to happen sometime. We've seen what happens when we do. So
I can't disagree with you anymore. In regards to first of all, I think there's a lot of talent that's going to be released very, very soon.
Right, spring cleaning, yeah.
Then I think it's going to be a even more spring cleaning than your average spring cleaning of just your lower card that nobody ever sees.
Right.
In regards to what NXT has right now versus like if there was a huge shuffle, like you've got Dominic Dijakovic or whatever how you pronounce his name.
Right there.
Matt Riddle,
I've got to talk about that when you're done. Go right ahead.
You've got so many, like Keith Lee, Matt Riddle. You've got so many talented people within the thing, like especially with the Street Profits that are going to be able to move right up into the tag team division.
Yep.
There's so many good wrestlers within NXT to where you can continue to move people away from NXT and not rely on the Undisputed Era, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, and still have such a strong. Because we say that every year. We say that with, oh my God, who's going to replace Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens? And sure enough, we forgot everyone who was in there because we're too worried about Ciampa and Gargano match number 6, and we're worried about Velveteen Dream. Where is Velveteen Dream on this fucking card? You have all these things that you like, so many great wrestlers in NXT, so many who are moving up through the ranks that can replace them. But I think once the main card is going to hit such a spring cleaning more than we have ever seen. I think AEW is going to eat it up. Because I think if they release the people, not necessarily that want to be released, but enough people that need to be released, AEW will be forced to pick them up as opposed to waiting for someone for their release that WWE won't grant them.
I guess. Let me see.
That's just my opinion.
No, I got you. No, don't need to shield yourself with empathy, okay? Look. I just want to really quash any AEW talks is, I guess, my thing. I really like how wow, look at this new shiny toy that's come about. Look at this shiny new fish bowl. I can put all of these shiny new fish into this fish bowl that's apart from the large aquarium. Yeah, look at this thing. How big do you think this fish bowl is? How much money do you think they have?
They have fuck you money over at AEW.
Yeah. What outlets do you think they have? Are they doing any touring? What is the investment to be had from this? Okay, I don't I love everyone's enamoring with AEW, but I think the names that you need to focus on when it comes to going to AEW are names you've never heard of. They are going to dive into people who didn't have a good time at the Performance Center. Okay, these are names you've never heard of. Names that'll come out of the WWE and NXT, oh, of course they're going to gobble up. That's no problem. But as far as names that you're seeing right now, I don't know. And it's not because the WWE is going to prevent them from going. It's just because I don't know if the AEW could afford them. Because they're too busy concerned about how they're going to build up their own entity. Okay. WWE right now, I can see them doing a spring cleaning more on the performance side than it would be on the main roster side. There are not as many main roster people that'll be leaving as we may think. A lot of them have been on TV for the past 3 or 4 weeks. Granted, they may be on the milk carton, but it's the first time they've shown up. Dolph Ziggler, you want to go to AEW, knock yourself out and be Shawn Michaels with Chris Jericho being there. Go right ahead. But apart from that, I don't know. When it comes to Ciampa and Aleister Black, I mean, I can see Ciampa keeping it. I am so weary right now of sending people from NXT to the main roster. Just because I really don't know where their places would be. I really don't know. I don't know.
I mean, you got 5 hours to fill if they can get the writing going. But I love Ben Bauer's theory that AEW is a giant work and everyone's working for WWE.
Pretty much. It pretty much is. All right. Royal Rumble. 9 matches on this. 2 of them on the pre-show, 7 on the main. There are
4 that I get to lock.
4 of them that you're locking for the love of God. Rusev defending the U.S. title against Shinsuke Nakamura, who have not been on TV for the past 2 weeks. What say you, Ken?
For you, I locked this Rusev over Nakamura.
Oh, I love you.
I picked Rusev over Nakamura just for you.
Oh,
nobody
thank you.
Else.
I appreciate that. I will gladly take this shot with a smile. Okay, if he loses,
I was gonna say, do you think Nakamura is gonna win?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Will either of these men appear at the Royal Rumble match?
Yes.
Okay.
I think both of them will,
Okay.
and I think it'll kind of have a mid-Rumble storyline between each other because they fought during the U.S. title match prior to the Royal Rumble.
Gotcha. Carry on into them fighting each other when they're in the ring.
Yeah.
It happens. Gotcha.
So you could have Naka eliminate Rusev just to make it a half and half.
Sure. Fatal 4-way Little Critter title. Buddy Murphy defending against Kalisto Tozawa and Hideo Itami. What say you?
Not a lock for you. Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
I have Hideo Itami winning the belt.
Okay.
Mr. Kenta himself winning the belt.
I was kind of wondering about this. I was thinking it was going to be him or Tozawa, just kind of favoring Itami because he's now had this little program going on with 205 and having his new BFF. What's his name? Can't remember. He's got a new BFF that someone believes in him and has respect in him. Can't remember him.
Is it Bo Dallas? Bo
No,
Leaves?
it's not no, it doesn't believe in him. It's something
Oh, he
else.
believes. Okay, I didn't know
Yeah,
if
it's
it was
not believe. No, it's not believe. Well, they're Japanese for crying out loud. But no, yeah, Tommy winning the little critter title, absolutely. He's been in there for a year now, I think.
Has he really?
It's getting close to it.
He kept getting injured, and it kind of sucked because he's a very
Davari.
talented person.
All right, Ashley in the chat room just said it's Davari, who's his new BFF. Okay, but you would think that someone who came from NXT, who was riddled with injury, and then got a 205,
Being fair, riddled with injury in NXT, not riddled with injury, period. Because I don't think he had too many injuries over at New Japan.
No, not at all. Not at all. Now we get into the main show. The Bar defending against Shane and The Miz. What say you?
Lock number 2,
Shit.
the World Cup champions.
Oh.
Shane McMahon and The Miz defeat The Bar.
You don't see
for the SmackDown titles.
You don't see the turn happening.
Not yet.
No, not yet. You see it happening Elimination Chamber, Fastlane before WrestleMania?
Yes.
Okay. I won't hold you on when. But,
I was fully expecting it to be Miz versus Bryan at Mania,
right.
And I didn't realize how slow they can burn this, because they can make Miz such a face that it blows my mind to be the one cheered against Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah, this can be an incredible slow burn. I mean, we're talking slow.
We're talking a whole nother year, at least.
Oh yeah. We're talking a whole calendar year right here. But I mean, I love. Have you ever had dry aged steak?
No.
Dry aged steak is a steak that's encased in a dehumidified chamber for 30 days. Okay, and it gets a deep red hue. It's not brown. It's not rotten. It's a deep red. And when you cook that, you sear it. It is seared, salt and pepper, and you cook it for only a minute, just a minute on both sides, and it melts like butter in your mouth. That is what Shane and Miz is going to be when the turn happens. This is a dry-aged steak that is just going to just age in that chamber, and then when it's time to cook, it's going to taste so good. Okay? Let this age. Let this go for a long time. Okay? By God, I wouldn't be surprised if the turn doesn't happen until SummerSlam. I'm talking about the turn. The build for Miz and Bryan. Oh, now that's a Scotch-aged barrel right there. Okay. I am, you know me, Ken. I mean, a lot of people know me. I'm a favor of the slow build. The slow build is so much better. Okay. But, all right. Lock, Shane, and Miz. No, I buy that one.
Yep.
Asuka.
The greatest.
Yes. Asuka defending the title against the man, the woman, whatever she claims she is this week, Becky Lynch. Asuka, Becky Lynch, what you say?
Another lock for you.
Shit.
I tried to do like a few women, a few men.
No, that's good.
You know, make it even. I have Asuka retaining against the man, Becky Lynch.
Okay, I'm buying that. It's feeding into my Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey WrestleMania main event.
Oh,
but what are you, buddy? What are you thinking?
I mean, it still feeds into my 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen match. Having Asuka win, because we'll just kind of bleed right into Wanda
Rousey.
There you go.
Wanda
Rousey.
Rousey.
Is that your next one? I don't know if you have the graphic ready to go.
Well, that's the next one, but don't worry about it. But Wanda Rousey.
So I have Ronda retaining over Sasha.
Okay.
So I have basically this idea of Sasha and Bayley going for the tag titles against It's Baszler and one of the other 4 horsewomen that's in NXT.
Okay.
I have Charlotte versus Ronda for the title, and I have Becky versus the 4th one just to kind of bring everything together.
And you're bringing the 4 horsewomen into the main roster
That is correct for WrestleMania.
with only 2 months of NXT in them.
Correct. Do I think they're going to stay, say, past SummerSlam? No, I think they might get called back to NXT for more polishing. But
Yeah.
I think if you wait any longer, it's going to be too long. IMO.
Do you think there's enough heat involving the other 2 members of the roster for when this happens and the 4 horsewomen end up on the main roster? Right now, do you think there's enough notoriety and name recognition to know that everyone knows who these people are?
Can I ask you a question to the question?
Sure.
Who is Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns when they joined the main roster, 2012, 2013, whenever that the Shield came in? Like, you don't need the notoriety to come in because they're going to play the heels.
Right.
They're going to play the bad people, to where you just need them to be badass, kick-ass, like, people who are just going to destroy, to where they're going to interfere, they're going to change the outlook of what the women's wrestling is. And I think it allows for one title to be within the entire thing, like the be all end all, but the rest of them to still fight against each other, give them a storyline. You could put them in the tag title tournament, to where you can have these girls come in and they're now in the tag title tournament, to where the tag title tournament is going to have Sasha and Bayley versus, whoever the 2 out of the other 3 that's not Ronda.
Yeah.
Be it Baszler or the other 2. I don't know the other 2's names. I'm sorry for whoever's.
Well,
in the chat.
I know it's Jessamine Duke and someone else. I know Shifty said that in there. It's Jessamine Duke and someone else. I can't remember.
Yep. So they can be green. They can be protected, especially with the people that they're fighting against, between Sasha, Bayley, Becky, and Charlotte. And I think you could make it to where they come in. Because, to be honest, you want to talk about green as shit people you bring up. You want to talk about Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan and who was in the other trio that debuted?
Absolution.
Absolution, yeah. You have these green as fuck people that come in that still, you could still do something with them, to where they could be hidden without, they could be hidden in plain sight with their issues.
Right.
And they could still go back to NXT. They could still train over at the Performance Center. They can still do well while still creating this. Because I think you have this year to bring this 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen before everything gets a little too far away.
Well, first off, yeah, Shifty saying it's Marina Shafir is the other one in the chat room. We got Grash in there saying horsewoman versus horsewoman ideas horse shit. I'm not saying that. That's what they're saying. Hayden saying they weren't brought up for WrestleMania, though. Well, they were brought up when The Rock did his little cameo against Triple H and Stephanie. Yeah, we get it in San Francisco. We all had a hard-on that Ronda Rousey was going to join, and she did. Okay.
So Grash says, wow, you don't get called back to NXT? You do. There are people who have debuted on the roster and immediately went back to NXT. Nikki Cross showed up for a match. Sami Zayn showed up for a match. People will show up for something specific and then go back to NXT.
Well, I guess.
And it's not as big as this theory is that I have with this giant WrestleMania feud, but in the same token, you still have the capability of bringing these women up and still bringing them back to the Performance Center.
Yeah,
because I don't think in a year or in 2 years, Ronda Rousey's still with the WWE.
Oh yeah. We're looking at her maybe about a 2 or 3 year deal.
You don't have that much time to do this. And you don't want her to finish on a 4v4 feud. You want her to finish on her own.
I guess my thing is I'm just looking at the here and now. Like the planning for horsewomen versus horsewomen, I totally see. Totally in the future. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. In this show that you are booking right now, and you're wanting to have this match happen, are you booking?
It's 3 matches, by the way. 3
Right.
matches I'm calling.
Well, I mean, are you booking the Rousey Sasha match to go on before the Asuka Becky Lynch match?
Ooh.
Okay, here's my thing. If you're going to carry this match that you're talking about, okay, and you've just projected that Becky Lynch is part of this other original horsewoman that's supposed to be part of this, well, how is she supposed to give a shit about this horsewoman unless it factors into her match against Asuka?
I disagree with your sentiment. I think you can easily bring in someone to beat the shit out of her, whether it's Marina Shafir or Jasmine Duke or Shayna Baszler, to create a storyline. You don't need Asuka to create, or the Asuka match or Asuka herself to create this type of storyline for the future. There are plenty of ways out of it than just, and I agree in regards to Rousey versus Sasha and Asuka versus Becky. And when I kind of think about it, I think that it's going to have Rousey over Sasha first before Asuka versus Becky. I think Asuka over Becky. And to be honest, I don't think they're going to build it Sunday night. Like, I don't think you're going to see that Sunday night. I think you're going to see it later. And just as much, like, I still think you can have this build while even the NXT girls are still in NXT and have them in a WrestleMania match, even with them weekly performing in NXT, and then nobody would be none the wiser, because the percentage of people that watch NXT is 10% to what the people that watch WWE.
Even smaller than that.
So the people that watch WWE are simply going to know, oh, hey, they're here. They're from NXT. They're from the whatever. This is awesome. Whereas the people who follow it a little bit more are going to be like, oh, why are they going back and forth? But I really don't think it matters that much, especially for, a 3-month program.
Gotcha. No, I mean, I'm totally buying horsewomen versus horsewomen. I think it really more depends on the sequencing of how they do this. Okay, it's even more difficult to try to do this when half of the horsewomen that you're wanting to go against are on another show. Okay, you've got 2 in Raw, 2 in SmackDown, but only one of the other horsewomen on Raw and the other 3 on NXT. It's hard to try to combine everything, I guess is the way to put it.
Well, again, when you have the WWE Women's Tag Team titles coming out, which I think is going to play a part in regards to this 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen, you can put even 2 of them on. It doesn't matter what show, because you're going to do them 2v2.
Right.
Again, a lot of people are, like, I see Grash in the chat, like, I don't see this happening at WrestleMania. Hayden Barker saying, I don't see this at WrestleMania. Gil's fan saying, I don't give a shit about the horsewoman. It's fantasy booking. And I think, to be honest, as much as I love wrestling and I love, I love storylines, I love characters, I love work rate as much as I love comedy acts. Like, I loved R-Truth and Carmella's dance break. But when you talk about this, it's more, hey, this is how my mind works. This is what I think could happen. But if it doesn't, it's not one, I don't think this is going to happen, as in be all end all. You're wrong if you disagree with me. I also think if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be heartbroken. But there's a lot of things that, I think would be a lot of fun to watch. Kind of like, again, one of the big things when Kevin Owens was in the Rumble, and I'm like, man, it would be awesome if Sami Zayn came out, because whether Sami Zayn came out or not, Kevin Owens isn't winning the Rumble. Sami Zayn isn't winning the Rumble, but it would be cool if they showed up and had that little mini feud during the Rumble.
Yeah.
And those are the kinds of things that I look for.
No,
Crash says fantasy booking from the toilet. Thanks.
Well, that's what people say when they don't use their brain to try to do the same thing. So don't worry, they're just jealous, because there's nothing wrong with number one, I mean, all of these questions I've been giving you and kind of putting you on the spot and everything. These are the discussions I like having. There's no right or wrong answer. It's how we view wrestling, how, if we as writers, how we would write it, how we would determine the consequences, how we would find the pathways for it to happen. But it's okay if it doesn't happen, because by God, there might be a better one that we end up seeing, you know? So there's nothing wrong with trying to predetermine what you think is going to happen, because by God, that just makes you more interested in watching the goddamn show.
But again, I'm not going to be heartbroken if it doesn't happen. Like it's
right.
one of those, like, it would be cool if this happens, but if it doesn't, I'd love to see what they come up with, because obviously we all have different theories.
Oh my God, I have so much racist, sexist, stereotypical shit that I would love to see on my pro wrestling television that I know will never happen.
Are you waiting for Ms. Ark Henry to come back out?
Oh dear Lord, no. I'm waiting for the Stormtrooper Heidenreich story to come out. Jesus Christ. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay.
We're still booking this pay-per-view, by the way.
Oh, yeah, we are still booking the pay-per-view, because the Women's Royal Rumble match is what we need to predict. Charlotte, Bayley, Natalya, and Nia Jax is shown on my screen, but there are at least every single woman that is on the main roster has been confirmed for this match, who has not got a singles match for this pay-per-view. That's right. Every lady is in this Royal Rumble match from the main roster, except Asuka, Becky Lynch, Wanda Rousey, and Sasha Banks. At least not confirmed anyway. Ken, what say?
All right, let's bury the lead. So for the longest time in the women's pay-per-view, I've got Ember Moon being the Iron Woman. For the most eliminations, I've got Nia Jax doing the most eliminations. For the final four, I've got Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon, and Nia Jax.
Sure.
And your winner and lock, Doug Lackey.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Charlotte.
Okay. All right, I feel good. I feel good about that one. Okay.
To set up Charlotte versus Rousey, WrestleMania.
Right. That's what
Sasha and Bayley in the tag. And Becky against bumfuck. Maybe Shayna Baszler, because Shayna's the most green out of all, or least green out of all of them.
Now, my big thing is I have been on this Becky Lynch Ronda Rousey main event WrestleMania kick for a long time.
Really?
Okay. I have been on a Ronda Rousey Becky Lynch WrestleMania main event kick for a very long time. Charlotte winning the Rumble can still play into it. It can still play into it, just because if Charlotte winning the Rumble, you know, she could just hold off on picking who she wants to go against.
Wait until Elimination Chamber is over?
Yeah, I'm just going to hold on to this. You know, we'll just see what the hell happens. Elimination Chamber goes on, and we've got number one contenders that are trying to be verified. But unfortunately, Charlotte has not picked one. Oh my God, who's in this Elimination Chamber match or clusterfuck match to determine number one contender for X title? Becky Lynch wins. And that's where the two of them look at each other and go, you know what? Charlotte says, I want to get mine, looks at Becky, and Becky goes, well, I want to get mine. There you go. Charlotte, Asuka, rematch at WrestleMania. Becky, Rousey, main event at WrestleMania. That's what I'm looking at. Okay. That's my fantasy booking. I got Charlotte winning the Rumble too. Okay.
How do you have Becky going against Rousey then?
There's going to be some shenanigans. There will be shenanigans. Okay. Becky,
that's fair. I'm just asking how you get Becky to another show without the Rumble.
Becky Rousey at WrestleMania. There's going to be a fuck ton of shenanigans. Lots of them. That's where you insert your four horsewomen. That's where you insert Bayley and Sasha. Not just Charlotte, but Bayley and Sasha. Okay. We focus too much on, we know who the four horsewomen are with NXT and Ronda Rousey. Yeah. But how in the hell do we bring the other four together? At WrestleMania, at the one event that everyone's going to be watching, that's how you bring them together.
You think they're all coming home with titles?
Titles have nothing to do with it. It's just
you're saying bringing them together. You're creating matches of Becky versus Rousey, who could win the Raw title, Charlotte versus Asuka, who could win the SmackDown title, and Sasha and Bayley, who could win the tag titles.
They could.
So you have 4 women who could win all 4 titles, and create a super stable. Maybe I don't come back together. I don't know if that's what you were going for.
Well, they could. But the big thing is with the culmination of just the grouping of 4 versus the grouping of 4, whether titles are involved or not doesn't really matter. It's just we can program everything titles aside from the group of 4 versus the group of 4. Okay, there's nothing wrong with, Rousey holding on to the Raw Women's title, and that is the women's title. And that her horsewomen are going to protect her. And all of the other 4 are going to try to vie to go after her. The women's SmackDown and the women's tag team titles can stay on SmackDown. That's where they can stay for all eternity. It will always be those 8 women on Monday Night Raw going against each other for a very long time. Just culminating around that one title. You can insert the tag titles all you want. That's not a problem. That's a nice periphery to do and usher it into the SmackDown show. However, the group of 4 versus the group of 4. If you're going to have this, it needs to be on television. And it better be on a TV show, whether it be Raw or SmackDown. SmackDown ends up going on Fox in October. Do you carry that into October? Keep it on Raw and cultivate it to go into October into SmackDown. There's a lot of stuff that can happen with the women's division. The men's division is boring.
You know what comes November too?
Yeah.
Survivor Series.
Well, that's a gimme.
Yeah, but if you're planning like 4 horsemen versus 4 horsewomen, and you roll right into October and Fox and then Survivor Series, you really have a solid name brand recognition of Ronda Rousey as the buildup of the women's Survivor Series.
Yep.
I buy it.
Yep.
I don't know if that's what you were going for, but I still buy it.
No, that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for is that you are relying on the name of Rousey to build up into the show of SmackDown in October. Okay. If it works or if it happens or not, I don't care. This is me, the fucking writer, booking. We still have more matches.
We still have 3 more matches, and we're going for almost 3 hours.
Oh, we're doing this good. Men's Royal Rumble match.
Try that one more
Rumble.
time.
Yes, Men's Royal Rumble match. Elias, Karen Corbin, John Cena, and Jinder Mahal are on the front page of the WWE page. No Seth Rollins to be found, even though he's going to be in the match, and a lot of others. 20 men have been confirmed to be in this match. What say you, Ken?
All right, longest time in the match. Andrade Cien Almas, as much as he's had his time to shine for the past few weeks with Rey Mysterio, this is going to be, as much, he wasn't even in the Royal Rumble last year. This is going to be his calling card. This is going to be like the introduction to the world for Almas.
Mm-hmm.
Most eliminations, Mr. Drew McIntyre.
Sure.
Royal Rumble Final 4, I've got Seth Rollins, R-Truth,
yeah, okay.
Drew McIntyre,
okay,
and Andrade Cien Almas.
Sure.
And your winner, not a lock because we've already gone through all the locks.
Sure.
Seth Rollins.
Yep. Gotcha.
So I've got both for the women's and the men's. I've got a 2-face, 2-heel set up for the Final 4. I think this is going to have a good, fun showing for R-Truth. I think this is going to be his time to kind of like have a lot of fun and get that Santino Marella kind of feel in regards to the capability of winning. I think Drew is going to be the one that eliminates him, and I think Rollins is going to be the one to eliminate Drew in the final 2.
Gotcha. No, I'm totally buying it. I figured A lot of people have been also saying it as well that Seth was going to be winning the Royal Rumble. How that would be, whether it be being with Drew in the Final Four, whether it be also kind of climbing some hurdles with Cena being in there as well. Got Strowman we're imagining is going to be in there.
I think Seth wins and goes for the SmackDown title for the champion I haven't named yet. Because we haven't named that match yet.
Oh, you're thinking that, huh? Okay. So we're just gonna keep it at that. Okay, I'll just keep it at that. All right. I'm kind of digging this, but yeah, I agree with you. Seth has the Rumble. All right, 2 more to go. Daniel Bryan, Captain Planet, defending the planet and his WWE title against AJ Styles, Hot Dogs, and Conservative Thinking. What say you?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey.
What was so funny, I saw you post this on Twitter, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I saw he went on Louder with Crowder, and I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense for AJ Styles.
So we have the classic battle of the far left versus the far right that we never called for. We never asked for this, but we've got it right now. Recyclable toilet paper.
So it's Bernie Sanders versus Rand Paul.
Exactly. Okay. We got AOC versus Rush Limbaugh. What you got?
I've got Ben Shapiro versus Cenk Uygur.
There you go.
I've got Daniel Bryan winning.
Okay. All right. So you're telling me Rollins is gonna challenge Bryan? Yes. So what you got AJ doing?
I don't need AJ to do anything. He's AJ fucking Styles. He can do whatever the hell he.
No. Not that far.
He doesn't need to do anything.
Okay.
Do you need him in the main event? Do you need him with a title to be AJ Styles?
Well, no, not at all. No.
Like, we remember 4 years ago when he fought Chris Jericho at WrestleMania and he was buried because he lost to Chris. No. He's had a long time in the main event. Yep. He's had the title for a long time. Yep. 2 runs for very long times. I mean, it's not his fault he's lost to James Ellsworth a few times. So, he needs a little bit of time in the mid-card. And by mid-card, I mean just, fighting your Samoa Joes, he could rekindle that fight against Samoa Joe. He could, go back to a heel. He could join the Good Brothers and actually start a stable. There are so many things that AJ Styles can do without needing a belt. Whereas Daniel Bryan heel needs that belt to complete Daniel Bryan heel.
Do you see AJ Styles staying on SmackDown after the Superstar shakeup?
Ooh, that is something. You know what? No.
Oh.
No, I think AJ could move to Raw, and I think there's a lot more people he could fight on Raw just to freshen up his character until his next major feud.
So he's going to stay on SmackDown for 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I think
something.
Well, he's going to have, so Bryan's going to retain. So there's no more, repeat. Hopefully there's no more repeat matches. I lost again, but I should have another title match. No. In regards to AJ, I think there's something that he could do. I think he could maybe try to fight Rusev for a quick match for the U.S. title, maybe lose to Rusev, and then just get shipped over to Raw and kind of reset.
Well, first off, I totally agree Daniel Bryan retaining. Totally agree with that. My problem is just that after this, I had no idea what I had Daniel Bryan doing because I had Seth winning the Rumble and challenging Bork. So there's that. So what am I doing with Daniel Bryan? His title can put it in a clusterfuck match at WrestleMania. We'll figure it out later. Okay, we got a Superstar shakeup going. We can fill 3 months. Okay, SmackDown's writing is fantastic. We'll ride that. Okay.
To be honest, you could start a face versus heel, just standard, no title necessary matchup against Andrade. I would love to see AJ versus Andrade and see their different wrestling styles combined, because I think Andrade I'm going to be honest, and this is going to be a weird thing to say, but Andrade is the most modern John Cena that we have in regards to the fact that Andrade can fight every single a fight against every single wrestling style, whether it's a work rate style, a lucha style, a Japanese strong style, a American like a Baron Corbin style. He can fight against them and make them look good.
Oh, yeah.
And not as to the level of John Cena is right now, but in regards to Andrade, I think you could fit him in anywhere and he's going to succeed, which is why I think Andrade is going to be a champion in 2020. I think he's got 2019 to build his character. In 2020, he's going to be a world title champion.
I can see in 2019 Andrade swerving. I can see in 2019
To be a face.
Andrade. Yes, I can see in 2019 Andrade swerving to face, and in 2020 he can get a title of some kind, whether it be from either show, anywhere. I can see it happening. He can definitely pull his weight in the ring. We know that. You don't need to not to preach into the choir on that one.
Yeah.
My only thing is, it's times like these that I wish Lars didn't have problems.
We were talking about this before we started.
No, because Andrade has been against every form of creature you can think of. He needs to be against a pinball bumper. He needs to be against a Big Show, a Mark Henry, a Braun Strowman, a Lars Sullivan. Okay, that time will come. Not right now. We're okay with that, not right now. Okay. Andrade, to me, he is the future. That's for damn sure. But you have to... These matches he's had with Rey Mysterio and AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, he's had with them both on television, have been fantastic. We have established he can do shit in the ring. Now can he do something character-wise? Can we get the crowd behind him? They've gotten behind of what the shit is that he does in the ring. Can we do a little more? He's going to swerve. Who will Andrade swerve on? Well, Zelina for one.
Oh.
Zelina needs to do some really bad shit that he does not agree with. Who else could he turn on? But Zelina come along with him to stay face. Who is the worst heel on SmackDown that you have right now? Go!
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. Tag team him with Samoa Joe. Okay, I mean, everything is open for Andrade. But when it comes to Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles. Okay, I totally agree. Daniel Bryan's going to retain. I booked AJ Styles in a match with Triple H at WrestleMania.
Really?
Triple H confirmed on his Twitter and his conference call about the NXT show that he is no longer hurt. He is now cleared to go and he's rehabbing. I'm taking his word on that because, god damn it, he's in charge. I'm kind of counting on an AJ Styles Triple H because Vince McMahon has inserted himself into the AJ Styles character. He's inserted himself into 2 segments involving the AJ Styles character. This match that's happening right here, Daniel Bryan may retain chicanery. Who knows? Who knows whether tomfoolery will happen? But a Vince McMahon is going to interject, causing an AJ Styles to flip, causing a Triple H and a Stephanie McMahon to go, "Don't hurt my dad." Triple H going, "Don't talk bad about my wife." It snowballs. So that's what I'm like. Daniel Bryan right now, you could do anything right now with Daniel Bryan. Him versus Andrade in a one-on-one, I am not seeing. I am not seeing him against Rey Mysterio, against Randy Orton, against any other singles match. It's right now a big clusterfuck with Daniel Bryan right now. There. Enough of that.
Okay.
The last match. the final match. The final match between the Meat Eater and whatever the hell Finn Balor is. Bork Laser, Universal Champion, defending against Finn Balor, the Fonz. What say you?
Your winner
Yep.
and two-time Universal Champion, Finn Balor.
How are we doing this?
Simple. So what Finn Balor is going to do is he is going to pin Brock Lesnar,
Yes.
and the ref is going to count 1, 2, and 3, and that's how he wins the title.
Oh, there's no chicanery. There's no. This is a no DQ match unless they change it right on the card.
I was unaware it's a no DQ match, but that makes me think even more so that Finn Balor is going to win.
Oh, okay. You don't see anything else factoring into this match. You just see it being clean.
I mean, in regards to if it's no DQ, obviously it's not going to be clean.
Right.
In a 1v1, Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar, I see Finn Balor defeating Brock Lesnar 1v1 because I feel like they have been able to build what Finn Balor can do. I think they've been able to show what Brock Lesnar's negatives are in regards to his match against AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, the last two, not Survivor Series. Is it Survivor Series? Yeah, Survivor Series.
Yeah.
The last two Survivor Series, to where I think Brock Lesnar is going to be a little cocky. I don't think it's going to be like a 1v1 Finn Balor wins, clean, easy, GG, go home. But the one thing that we don't realize is that Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor have never been in the same ring in a match before in their entire careers.
Right.
So that includes Royal Rumbles. That includes after, Finn Balor got hurt and Brock Lesnar got the title. And in regards to Finn Balor's reclimb back into the into the main event itself. Now, obviously, we've been dealing with Finn Balor saying, "Oh, I'm getting buried," or not him saying, but everyone saying Finn Balor is getting buried. Obviously, you just got to fucking wait time. But I think that there is no recall. You can't say, "Oh, well, Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of Finn Balor here," except for post match or DQ or bullshit like that. You can have Finn Balor go over logistically.
Okay. So Finn Balor goes over Brock logistically.
Yes.
Is this going on? Is this match happening before or after the Royal Rumble?
This match is the main event, the last match of the night.
Okay. Finn Balor wins, has title. What are you doing with Bork?
Rematch at WrestleMania. Finn Balor has to defend it at an Elimination Chamber or Fastlane or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And then the winner faces Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And Brock Lesnar does something at whatever pay-per-view it is that they face against. And it creates the reason why Finn needs to bring the demon out, because maybe for 3 weeks straight, Brock Lesnar comes out and just beats the shit out of him.
Okay, I got you. So this really culminates into getting the demon out at WrestleMania.
And takes Brock Lesnar out of the main event title.
Okay.
Because once you bring the demon in at WrestleMania, defeats Brock, Brock is gone for whatever next MMA match he's going to, or whatever he's doing after this part. I still think you can bring the demon out. It's a one-time thing. It's over. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Gotcha.
But I think Brock beats the shit out of Finn between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, to where he's like, I need to do something that guarantees my win, or make sure that I win, because I don't know if I could. Yeah.
Oh, something like before the bell rings, grabs a chair and wails on him. Something along those lines.
Yeah. There's 100 ways to do it.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe 3, but still.
Well, there's plenty of reasons, but we've had enough to drink that we can only think of 2. So, okay. I'm so glad you didn't fucking lock that one. Okay.
I mean, I feel like because like the picks that I'm picking right now is what I'm sending to my pick league that I'm part of. So like I'm not jerking your chain in regards to the things I'm picking. This is what I'm sending to my pick league as what I believe.
Okay, so this is not only what you're jeopardizing my health for, this is also what you're jeopardizing your rent for. I understand now. Yes.
I mean, I don't put that much money into the rent league or the pick league, but you know, it's one of those like in regards every single pick that I pick tonight are picks that I believe. I did not fuck you over with your liver. These are picks that I'm actually sending. Whether I locked it or not, maybe decided on your liver. In regards to maybe not as confident. But to be honest, I'm more confident in like Rusev over Naka and Miz and Shane over the Bar than I am like, you know, Brian over AJ or Charlotte winning the Rumble.
No,
or Seth
no,
winning
that's
the Rumble.
no, and I appreciate it because there are people who are on our staff that don't give as much of a shit about my health as you do. Mike and Victoria, I'm looking at you right now. I am guaranteed one shot because of you two. Okay? If you're wanting to come on this show, you're going to have to do that shot with me. Ah, how you like them apples? All right.
Are they coming on the post show for you next week?
Well, I'm telling you right now that I've gotten the logistics figured out with you being on this show and this being the first time I've had a guest on this show, we can absolutely do it. So I mean,
it only cost me $200
it cost you $200
for those logistics.
Yeah, so Mike and Victoria, $200 and you got to do a shot of tequila with me. That's how it goes. All right. Just to recap. Here's what we got. Riddle over Ono. Gargano over Ricochet with the lock. Undisputed Era over War Waiters. Bianca Belair over Shayna Baszler with the lock. Tomato Chomper versus Aleister Black. Rusev versus Nakamura with the lock. Hideo Itami going over on the Fatal 4-Way Little Critter Clusterfuck. Shane and The Miz over the Bar with the lock. Asuka over Becky Lynch with the lock. Wanda Rousey over Sasha Banks. Charlotte in the Royal Rumble with the lock. Daniel Bryan retaining... The men's Royal Rumble is Seth Rollins. Daniel Bryan retaining over AJ Styles. And Finn Balor the Fonz retaining over Bork Laser. Those are your picks. That is my sobriety. And that's how it's going to be done.
Yeah. So I'm going to offer an olive branch.
Little
olive branch.
I mean, there's no dispute, but okay.
No. I'm not fixing my picks. I'm not trying to like change things up to be more.
You're trying to find an out.
No. 1 second to those. I'm gonna.
Yeah. All right, what you got? Oh, okay. Now he's offering an olive branch here. Okay. All right. I saw you grab a bottle, so. All right, now. Okay, I saw you grab the bottle, so now you got my attention.
So this is Valentine Vodka out of Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
I will match every shot you have to take on Wednesday night on your show.
Whoa. Okay.
So this isn't anything crazy. It's just 40% ABV, so it's your 80 proof vodka.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, 80, that's fine.
So I will match it in confidence of my 6 picks.
All right. I'm calling you on that.
That's fine. I will take photos. I'll Snapchat for you. Maybe I'll Instagram for you. I don't know. I know you have a lady friend, so obviously you can't see it on my Tinder page. But maybe I'll Match.com it for you or something, or Thrinder. There's the 3-way Tinder, Thrinder. So I can post that.
We'll see. The only bald men she likes are black, so I don't know what I can tell you about that one.
I mean, I could paint my face, but that's definitely racist.
No, that's really racist. All right. I'm calling you out on it. Okay, I'll call you out on it. All right. There will be a time on the show next week depending on the number of shots that are going to be taken, that you will be invited to take the shots. Okay? Because, I mean, the vodka sounds fantastic. I got no problem with vodka. This shit? I'm
Oh, hold on. You know what? I will up you one.
Oh,
Can
boy.
I will up you one. Hold on.
Oh, boy. Here we go. I'm asking for trouble with this one. This is asking for trouble. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
See, Doug Lackey.
Huh?
I muted my mic and I'm like all messed up because it's hard with the hat and no hair. Fuck it, whatever. All right.
Do you understand the show is a lot better after you've had plenty to drink? That's how it goes, you know?
You know, to be honest, people were saying I should be your like standard co-host prior to me getting a little tipsy. You ready for what I'm going to do?
All right, what you got?
Can you see the bottle?
Oh, 151? Oh, okay.
I will match your shots with that bottle.
Whoa. Okay.
That's how confident I am in my picks.
Okay. Now the way this was supposed to be is you were supposed to be responsible for my health.
But I care about you.
But I care about, well, let's just leave it at that. No, I'm kidding.
He didn't even say it. Ow.
I'm kidding.
Ow.
I'm
For
kidding,
all
I'm
those
kidding.
$4.95s I paid per month?
No, I'm kidding. Okay. So, next week, you come on this show, take shots at whatever the hell you want. Okay. We'll just put it that way, okay? If of the 6 locks we're only doing 2 and you want to do 151, knock yourself out. If we end up doing 5 or 6, I am not going to have you do 151. Do your vodka. It's okay. Okay? I mean, the tequila I'm doing here is, God, what is it? It's 100. It's okay. All right? It's okay. All right.
I'm just making sure I'm here for you in solidarity.
Whoa. Teamwork. There's
Makes
no
the dream work.
That's right. There's no I in team, but there is a me. You need to remember that. All right. That's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly, this fantastic episode of Wrestleview Weekly. First time ever having a guest host. It was Kenko Kanajojewski. Huh?
Konarshevsky. Jesus, Doug Lackey.
Yeah, that's what he said. Him. He was on this show. Going to have him on the show next week to do shots with me because he made incredibly great picks. Also, people have been asking, Fantasy Royal Rumble, the lists for the main card, mid card, and low card to do the Fantasy Royal Rumble are going to be posted on the Facebook media page, Wrestleview media page. Join up on it. If you haven't, you're a jerk. If you haven't joined up on this channel, you're a double jerk. Join up on it. Wrestleview media Facebook page. The lists are going to be posted on there. Everyone make your picks. One person from the main event, one person from the mid card, one person from the low card. You will have a great time watching the Royal Rumble, playing the Fantasy Royal Rumble. You can incorporate this into your own parties when you have people coming over to watch. Throw some money in there and go nuts. I don't do money on mine because I don't trust any of you people. So that's how we do it. Okay? I just provide you the methods for you to make money. That's all. I'm a great manager. What can I say? You know, just letting my fold out into the world to spread their love and make more money because of me.
Before we go, Doug Lackey,
Yes.
can I ask you one, I need a prediction from you.
Oh, God. Okay.
What?
Oh, I can make a prediction. It's about goddamn fucking time.
One person, male, and one person, female, in the Royal Rumble that was not announced. Just showing up. Not win. Just showing up.
Oh,
in
okay.
the
You're
Rumble.
talking just showing
Like
up.
a surprise entrance.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't mean tight, Apollo Crews if he hasn't been announced. Like
someone who
I'm
is
talking
not
like
on the roster. Someone who's
Cor-
not on the rosters that would appear.
Yep, just for a one-time thing or just to hang out, in regards to
Ah,
Rumble, like show up, get a pop, hit their finisher, and get eliminated.
sure. For the women, let me see. Women wise, I'm really trying to dig deep into my databanks here of women who did not show up last year that could show up this year.
There ain't that many people.
No, there's not many. Hmm.
So in regards to women, I'm gonna take Io Shirai.
Well, okay, if we're looking at NXT, sure. Io
Oh
Shirai
yeah,
could. Yeah.
NXT call up or not main event people.
Oh, okay. No, if we're looking at NXT, absolutely, Io Shirai could, but I can't do that and lampoon off you. I can't do that. I got to do something far-fetched here. Now I got to do something incredibly far-fetched. Jazz.
Ooh, I would buy that.
Jazz. Just out of
Jazz.
nowhere.
What about the men though?
The men. Just
Yeah, there
grabbing.
are 2 Royal Rumbles during this Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, shit. The men do stuff too. Men's Royal Rumble cameo appearance, just showing up and doing absolutely nothing. I'm just digging into memory banks, trying to think of a name, because I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of one that is incredibly far fetched, but when it shows up, people will know. It can't be a boogeyman. It can't be, just from a tag team. I almost wanted to say Rico, but no, that's not going to happen. No, that's not.
What about Carlito coming back?
Carlito could. He could come back.
Like he's not my pick. I already have my pick.
Yeah, I'm sure. No. Okay, hold on. All right. Someone's appearing. Oh God, damn it. I like being put on the spot like this because it causes my brain to try to work really, really hard.
I mean, you put me on the spot
really
all
fast.
night. You gave me
Yeah,
zero preparation
no, you're right.
for the show.
No, Keith Lee.
I'm in for Keith Lee.
I can see Keith Lee showing up.
Pete Dunne.
Okay, sure. To give some Tyson some talks into NXT UK, sure.
Oh, I just think he's fucking amazing in regards to wrestling capability. Not even necessarily NXT UK. Like his capability as a wrestler. Like honest to God, and I will hot take this, and I will take it to the bank, and I will fight anyone for it. Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate trilogy better than Kenny Omega and fucking Okada trilogy. Period.
That sounds really cute. Walter debuts next week. That's all I care about. Walter! You son of a bitch! Oh God! Oh Kozlov, it's okay you're gone because I've got Walter. Oh man! All right. Once again, Wrestleview media page on Facebook is where you'll find the lists of everything for the Fantasy Royal Rumble that you can tune into. Catch us next week on Wrestleview Weekly, where I do my shots and Ken will do his shots because he doesn't know shit about professional wrestling.
Ouch.
Well, no, I say that whenever I take my shots. Okay, so it's what I say every time I take my shot. Okay, that's what I say. Okay?
So what's my over under? Like if I get 2 or like 4 out of 6, does that mean that I know shit about professional wrestling, or do I need to like?
If you go over 500, you know shit about professional wrestling. Okay, that I think that's what
I feel like I should have chosen different locks then.
That's okay. That's okay.
I mean, at least I didn't take Hideo as my lock because I don't know about Hideo winning.
Well, I mean, I'm just glad everything that you fantasy booked here, that I was rolling with you with, at least you didn't lock those. Okay. All right. I mean, the locks that you made are consistent. They are believable. I'm totally with you. Okay. There are just some some picks you made that I'm like, hey, okay, you didn't lock it. Oh, okay, good. Oh, good. I don't have to have a gallon of water sitting next to my bed when I wake up. Thank you. I appreciate that. He's
Just
going to
for
be,
you.
yeah, Ken's going to be jumping on with me next week to do down the punishment that I have nothing to do with this. Just so you know. Anything else that happens from here on out, you can blame on me. Okay? Yeah, we're going to do that. Oh, by the way, speaking of people who jeopardize my health, Mike and Victoria Tedesco have got a show coming up next Monday. They cover Raw. Apparently now Mike is sick. Victoria's no longer sick, so the care is in my voice. They wagered and locked a shot on my behalf of someone winning the tag titles at Elimination Chamber. Okay, Mike says that Riot Squad was going to win, and he locked that. Victoria said that Sasha and Bayley were going to win. She locked that. So understand that Elimination Chamber, whoever wins, I'm at least doing a shot because of their asses. And if neither of them win the tag titles, I'm doing 2 shots. So, tune in for people who don't care about your health, Mike and Victoria Tedesco, next Monday. They will sometime be on this show. They got some splaining to do. Lots of it. Ken, I don't ask you for anything to follow up with that. You've jeopardized my health far more than they ever could.
But I do it out of love.
Exactly. I don't know what the hell Mike and Victoria do it out of. For all I know, they do it out of their love for macaroni and cheese. I don't know. So, tune into their show. Tune into this show next week. But Sunday, Adam Martin and myself are covering the Royal Rumble when we are finished. Dear God, it's been 3.5 hours.
If I can, I might call in on that show just to give you a play-by-play of how it happened after the
Yes,
pay-per-view live in Phoenix.
Yes, if you could. Yeah, Ken, if you could. Chime into our show. Let us know how the children and families enjoyed the show and how the Cheeto Munchers were pissed off that Kenny Omega did not appear at number 9. Yeah, if you could.
Okay, right. I got you.
Yeah, if you could. All right, that's enough for this show. Ken, say goodbye to the beautiful people.
Goodbye, beautiful people.
All right, and everyone, we will see you Sunday after the Royal Rumble. My line that I always leave off with now is know when you're being sold to, and don't work those that don't want to be worked. Later, guys.